can't see one.
How to make $1,000 a day every single day this year in wholesaling real estate by reverse wholesaling. What is up, guys? Zach Ginn here.
Rick Ginn here.
And in today's video, we're going to share exactly how to start reverse wholesaling. It's actually one of the most efficient and best ways to start wholesaling real estate, especially in a buyer's market, right? Because right now we are in a buyer's market, or it's becoming a buyer's market, right?
Oh, it's a buyer's market.
Yeah. So reverse wholesaling is going to show you exactly how you can actually dominate when a market's getting a little worse, more or less. And we're going to just break down exactly how to start doing reverse wholesaling step by step so you can make thousands of dollars every single day with reverse wholesaling, guys. I got to tell you, so many people during the last downturn in wholesaling real estate started reverse wholesaling and they started crushing it and did so well in their business. So I'm excited today. We're going to share exactly how you can start reverse wholesaling so you can make the most money possible in your wholesaling real estate business. Before we break it down, do me a favor. Make sure you smash that like button and subscribe. Comment below your questions, and let's get it going. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Oh, snap. I love seeing that guy.
That's good stuff, man.
Always gets me ready. Always gets me jacked up and ready to teach you guys wholesaling real estate absolutely for free so we can know exactly what to do. Get ready, guys. I can tell you straight up, guys, reverse wholesaling, I get so many people coming up to me all stressed out, right? Oh, I'm so stressed out to find buyers. Buyers are the most stressful thing ever. I hate dispositions. I can never find a cash buyer. This is the worst thing in the world. And really, like, reverse wholesaling was sort of made for you because of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people get really stressed out finding deals, which most people are, but a lot of people get really stressed finding cash buyers. And reverse wholesaling, you can sort of switch it up, right?
Yeah. And we're back to the old school. The way I started out in wholesaling is you actually have to spend time with your buyers, and you have to show them your contract, your deal, and occasionally you have to go take them for a cup of coffee or like even a lunch. There's been a long running of teaching of wholesaling is don't worry about cash buyers. They're a dime a dozen. Well, that day's come back to roost. So you should treat buyers anyways with respect. I'm not telling you to lay down what your guidelines are. Always get a proof of funds. Make sure you vet them. But remember, your cash buyers have options. And if you find a good one, go ahead and entertain them and work with them. It's critical right now. The cash buyers are actually a bit more challenging than they've ever been before. And this old school mentality is where you could run over your cash buyers. It only takes one. That's never been a good philosophy. I don't want you to be ruled by your cash buyers, but you're going to have to work with your cash buyers. If you grew up in the system over the last 5 years, you're going to have to adapt and change. They want to know where the money is, the deal, and you got to show it.
I 100% agree. So the one thing you guys have to understand about what we're teaching today is most gurus, shmurus, coaches, whatever, they actually all have reverse wholesaling courses.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them, you probably got an ad before the stinking video about one, right? The guys, their cost $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 just to learn, just to even step foot to even watch an educational video on reverse wholesaling. So what we're doing today is we're making a lot of gurus cry today because we're teaching you guys how to reverse wholesale. Absolutely. Oh, got cut off for a second, but we'll go edit that one out. But what I can tell you is, like, these average guru, they literally all try to sell you this crazy course on reverse wholesaling. And what we're going to do really today is break down exactly how to start reverse wholesaling. So how to start reverse wholesaling, that's the goal today. That's what we're going to teach you guys. And that's really what we want to do. So let's get into it. Let's kind of break down exactly how to start doing it, how to make $1,000 a day in reverse wholesaling. I'm excited, guys. Just remember, your average guru out here, they're going to give you a video and they're not going to call it reverse wholesaling. They're going to call it, the Ginn method, the Zach method, right? They're going to call it whatever they want to make them feel good about themselves. They might put an animal with it, right? The lobster method of wholesaling. And guys, you probably see it like the gurus do the same thing. There's this, are you sick of wholesaling? Are you sick of actually doing work to make money? Oh, don't you hate working to make money? Well, give me $5,000 and I'll make it all easy and perfect for you. And really, it's crazy, but I think a lot of people get really confused. So let's do a quick guru ad and then we'll get into it, right? Are you sick of constantly wholesaling real estate? Do you want to know a method that no one else does except for me? Well, for $5,000 stinking dollars, you can use the lobster method and you can find 50 deals and make $5,000 every single second.
Guys, the truth is, whenever you're marketed, I'm specifically talking about wholesaling, whenever they're trying to tell you wholesaling doesn't work anymore, if you're tired of struggling, I've got an easier way to do it. They don't. It's a ploy. I'm telling you, you're better off learning the work in wholesaling. It is work, guys, but man, it is really rewarding. But the trend in the last 3 to 4 years I've seen is, let me teach you every method to avoid wholesaling. I promise you, you are going to come right back here because you have to understand how to wholesaling. There is no shortcut. Yeah, you could pay real estate agent between doing novations and all these other cute little techniques. But in the end, that's not wholesaling. And honestly, that'll be outlawed much faster than wholesaling will ever be. Go ahead and learn the fundamentals of wholesaling. Once you master it, the sky's the limit. But if you skip wholesaling, you're constantly going to be chasing the next shiny object and you're not going to find it because it doesn't exist.
I agree. So let's break this down. How to make $1,000 a day in reverse wholesaling. Guys, you literally, just remember, guys, $5,000 you just gave me to learn this. So treat it like you just spent $5,000 to learn this information. I promise you will retain the information. You actually start doing it. So let's break this down. So let's talk about the regular wholesaling real estate process, right? From left to right, kind of like a conveyor belt. This is how regular wholesaling real estate is done, right? Number one, we go do marketing. We go out here, we find distressed properties with our marketing, cold call, SMS text blasting, whatever way you like. You just pull a list and you start marketing to it, right? That's pretty cool. And next part we do is we talk to the seller, we sign an agreement, we agree to buy the house, we get the property locked up. Then we find the buyer, right? A rich landlord or house flipper usually. They agree to buy basically our agreement, our assignment of contract, our piece of paper, and we basically walk into the property. Then they sign the assignment of contract. Then we close with the title company. That's pretty much how regular wholesaling real estate's done, and it always has been. And we've never really changed on exactly that process. This process has been done for literally older than you and I have been alive, times probably 3 or 4, right? This business has been done forever. That is the regular wholesaling real estate process. So what is the reverse wholesaling process, right? Reverse wholesaling is basically that process in reverse, but just done different ways. And before you just watch what I say and then you get out of the video, I want you guys to understand, if you're just going to click this for 5 seconds and see what the process is and leave, that's okay. Just understand that at the end, we're going to show you how to do it, because there are wrong ways to do reverse wholesaling. And I hate to say it, but if you do it the wrong way, you probably are going to get a big fat fine. And I don't want to stress you guys out on it, but if you do reverse wholesaling the wrong way, you probably will get a big fat $2,500, $5,000 fine. I know one guy, he got a $3,000 fine for reverse wholesaling the wrong way. So yes, reverse wholesaling is revolutionary. It's great. It's perfect for this market. But if you do it the wrong way, you're going to get in a big trouble. And that's why when I teach you guys, I go very, very, very excruciating detail on it, because you guys have to do it the right way. And if you do it the right way, you're going to be fine. It's kind of all right, I don't want to scare you guys, but if you do hear what I say and you just listen to my content, you're going to be fine. It's the people that kind of I don't really, Zach's kind of wrong on this. Rick's kind of wrong on this. I have it right, So just giving everyone FYI before I show you the process. So let's get into it. You guys pay me $5,000. let's get into it. We're in our little webinar. We got our people in our hotel room, right? And all right, let's break it down. So this is the reverse wholesaling. I just want you guys to see the difference, left and right. So it's the same process, just other orders are moved, right? And it's not a complete reversal, right? You don't close first, right? But it really works like first what you do is you find the cash buyer. So you find an end buyer, a rich landlord or house flipper, and you find their criteria, aka their buy box, right? Find what areas they're looking to basically buy properties in, right? Their zip codes, the areas they like. Do they like a 2-2? Do you like a 3-2? What's their goal for being a cash buyer, right? Are they looking to buy a property for a rental? Or are they looking to flip it? You really have to understand and talk to your cash buyer what their criteria is for reverse wholesaling, right? Basically, it's just what type of properties you're looking to buy, right? And you could really figure out, like, if you ask them how many properties they bought in the past year, you can sort of get that. But like some buyers are really weird. Like they only like certain area codes or zip codes. They want to keep their rentals near the rentals, but they're really into that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that is how you find cash buyers. That's how you find cash buyers in the beginning. There's all the methods we say. You go to the property auctions, you do Facebook groups, you call the 4 rents. There's just so many of them to do, but really cold call the cash sales. Like we really break that down on the bottom right hand corner here at freewholesaling.com if you want to learn how we do it. But that's what you got to do first of all, right? The next part is we start marketing, and we only market to the sellers in our cash buyer criteria, right? We only do the zip codes they like. We only do the type of areas they want, right? So for example here, when I pull a probate list, and I'm only going to pull a probate list in the cities or areas where my cash buyers want to buy, right?
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it a little more different. And there are some cons to it, right? So the biggest pro is you could, for some people's wholesaling operations, if they really struggle with dispositions, it's the easiest. It actually makes them, they can double their profits, right?
Yep.
But the problem is if I pull out a probate list, I'm potentially losing out on areas where there could be a good deal. And I could try to risk it a little more, get the property on contract, then find the cash buyer. And maybe I might lose out on a deal, but you can be a lot more efficient with the cash buyers. So reverse wholesaling only works if you're really good at finding the cash buyer and you actually have a schedule and you stick to it and you're really good at pulling a ton of cash buyers, because it's like regular wholesaling, right? If you suck at marketing, you can be the best at finding a cash buyer, but your marketing's right? And I think so many people think I should do reverse wholesaling so I don't have to do marketing. No, it doesn't work like that, right? You still have to market. You still have to cold call. You still have to find these motivated sellers. You still have to do the work, okay? This is where the gurus get it wrong. You still have to actually put an effort in this business and treat it like a real business. Because guys, this is not reverse wholesaling is not a get rich quick scheme, right? It's a business. Mm-hmm. It's a side hustle. It's legit. You don't need any money to get going on it, but it is a legit business and you have to treat it like that. So you're just changing the process of it, right? And then kind of the other process here.
Which one were you working on there? Okay. Just locking up the deal. So, guys, the reality in reverse reverse wholesaling is, I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought, is if you're really good at going out and finding deals and you don't really overly concern with cash buyers, it's not the best fit for you. But those of you that are really good talking to people and you're more comfortable dealing with the disposition side, what reverse wholesaling will do for you is it gives you the confidence to know exactly what price points to take your properties down. And honestly, it's not the worst strategy in the world. In the beginning, I would pair up and do JV deals with what I call reverse wholesalers because they knew exactly what their cash buyers wanted. And then I would go out and get the deal. Here's where reverse wholesaling, if you knew exactly what they'd pay for, you could actually take advantage of the wholesaler that actually had the deal under contract. I eventually switched over and did reverse wholesaling myself. But in the beginning, I gave away a lot of money because I was so focused on acquisitions. Reverse wholesaling gives you the confidence from the disposition side. So it allows you to lock up contract prices at deals you know for sure you're going to make money. It's just a question of how much money you're making. And some people like to go out from the other side. They just like to shoot and go for the highest motivation sellers, which you should be able to make a ton of money doing that. And so either way, if you look at locking up a deal, if you already know what the exit price should be exactly, and you've done your intel and you've made a ton of cash buyer phone calls and you vetted them all, when your acquisitions comes up to buy these deals, it's going to give you that extra boost of confidence, especially in a market like today. So this is a strategy that's been around like forever. And in the perfect world, you would do it this way. But honestly, over the last 5 to 7 years, you didn't really even have to use this strategy because all the focus was solely on the motivated seller. It wasn't a question of how much you're going to make. It was like, how much money more were you going to make? So this is a strategy. I like it, especially if you're starting out, because honestly, we've been ignoring cash buyers for 5 years.
Yeah.
Guys, you got to go and find out what they're going to pay for these units. Listen, you're never going to get it perfectly when you buy the deal, but like once you talk to enough cash buyers, hey, 1,500 square feet, I'll pay X amount per square foot. Okay. And then you just reverse engineer when you're talking to them. So you could go out and lock up your deals confidently knowing you're walking away with more profit. So some don't like to leave it to chance. So if you're starting out and you go, like, I have no idea what buyers will pay, and I'm trying to figure out these crazy acquisitions formula, reverse wholesaling is your answer to this, because let your customer tell you what they'll pay for it, and you reverse engineer on how to take the deal down and lock it up with your motivated sellers.
Exactly. And one of the coolest parts about this is, like, I always tell somebody, like, all right, so a lot of people have these big issues. I feel like it's a limiting belief for some people, but they like it. What if somebody asked me for a proof of funds and they like flip out? And really, that's usually a confidence issue. But like, if you have your cash buyers first, if somebody comes up to you, ask for your proof of funds, use your partner's proof of funds, which is your cash buyer, boom, like, right?
That's one of the biggest obstacles I see. And then don't forget, guys, that's a great strategy, but lock in some of your own means too. If you have a decent job, decent credit, you can actually qualify for regular banking, which technically qualifies you as a cash buyer. It's a fine line, but wouldn't you like to have that in your war chest? Go set up with a hard money person. Don't do it when you're waiting to get the deal. Do it before you get your deal. And that way, if you have to produce a letter or something like that, you can have someone vouch for you. You can also go out and get a transactional funding person. And this is someone that just loans you the money for 24 to 48 hours period. Guys, it goes on and on and on. Maybe it's simply even working with a family member or a friend to just show you have proof to fund a really good deal. So,
yeah. So again, it's like finding the buyer, marketing, and now we're up to locking up the deal, right? Pretty much the same process, right? We call it the seller, sign the agreement, take pictures of it, right? We've had the buyer already set out. So that's kind of the easy part, right? Like we already have, we have the earning criteria. Okay, boom, perfect, ready to go, right? Now I don't have to panic in 30 days to find a buyer. This is why it's really attractive for a lot of people too. And we're going to say at the end what process we do. We kind of do a hybrid approach with both of these, but we'll sort of explain it. And then we have closing day, which you just close on the property, right? That is the reverse wholesaling process. Now, why does reverse wholesaling change the game, right? And I want to sound like a guru saying this, selling you like a webinar. Like I get no more money telling you how to do reverse wholesaling or regular wholesaling, okay? I'm just going to tell you why it's a game changer for a lot of people, right? Number one, as of today, your cash buyers matter way more now than they used to. A lot of wholesalers treated their cash buyers like trash, right? They're like realtors. Oh, we'll bid it up. Are you going to bid me on the property? Like they treated you guys treated cash buyers like sellers treated you. Okay. My deal's worth $1 million. I only want this much for the house, and we'll bid it up with 50 other cash buyers. And there's no relationship, right? And you're going to have to switch it up a little more now. It's just not, guys, you're going to be able to make the same money in wholesaling. You just got to switch how you do it. And that's what we're kind of showing you today, right? So cash buyers matter a lot more now than they used to. So this is why reverse wholesaling is more important. And it's very important now, right?
Yeah. So if you have a reputation of stepping on cash buyers because your guru taught you how to do that, you got to fix it right away. Because that, honestly, I always knew that was a temporary strategy. There's a code word they use for it. I'm not going to say it on air, but you're going to have a mutual relationship with your cash buyers. They have so many options right now. You're only one of probably 20 or 30 people they're talking to.
Exactly. And the next part is like there's less stress on finding the buyer. And I would say this, like, I think reverse wholesaling, though, to a point is a zero-sum game. So yes, there's a lot less stress on finding the buyer, but now there's a little more stress on finding the deal, right? Because you have a smaller list to go from.
Mm-hmm.
So there is more stress on finding the deal. So it's kind of a vice versa. We're sure like a hybrid approach at the end, but like really like it's zero sum to a point, right? And if you know how to do it the right way, but like this is really powerful if I'm doing like drawing for dollars, because I know exactly where to drive for dollars now. And that's pretty cool. Same if you got like big lists going on too. It works really, really well, guys. So there's less stress on finding the buyer, right? Dispositions, it becomes easiest. So if this is your problem, I see a lot of people trying to make their own dispositions company, stuff like that. It helps a lot of people out. And from someone that does JV deals with you guys, like this is probably not the best video to make on it, right? But like I want to give the power to everybody to make as much money as possible, right? So that's kind of the point, right? So do what's more valuable first. And what do I mean by doing what's more valuable first, right? So in the old method of wholesaling, right, finding the deal was the hardest part, right? And in the, let's say the next 6, 7, 8 months, if real estate keeps going down, right, finding the deal is going to be the hardest, most difficult thing. Like that's what it used to be, right? Always find the deal, always find the deal, always find the deal, right? And the coolest part about this is it's kind of switching. Like what's changing, right? Finding sellers are going to be a lot easier now. They are a lot easier now than they have been the past 4 or 5 years, and they're just going to only get easier, right? And finding a buyer now is going to get a little harder, right? And over time, the buyer's going to get harder and the seller's going to get, actually, no, I would say right now, the buyer's probably the hardest it's ever been, but I think sellers are just going to get easier over the next couple months. So it gets easier and easier and easier. And kind of now we're at this new paradigm in wholesaling. This is why we go live. This is why we give you information. This is why we like live streams, because I can just give you the information like live, right? There's no editing. There's no video. There's no like little thing to like, we're just sharing how to do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And really finding the buyer is for a lot of people going to be the hardest thing possible. And really, if you do reverse wholesaling, it's going to change it. But like finding the buyer now is probably going to be the hardest thing. And again, like I know you guys don't see it now, and it's kind of hard to explain to a point, but like right now it's a little easier to find a seller and a lot harder to find a buyer. And what you got to understand is it does take time for the sellers to kind of understand what's going on. Now there's still deals being done every month, like easily from us. Like we're doing a pretty nice fat deal. We're going over before the video today, but like a lot of sellers get it, but a lot more sellers are going to get it in the future, where the sellers just get easier and easier and easier, where it kind of has that equilibrium more or less.
So the cash buyers, they get the message instantly. So they don't wait. They don't wait for the media to tell them or anything like that. As opposed to sellers, they take time. And the number one indicator that they think the market's bad is strictly on the media. So as you see all these companies start putting out negative data about real estate over the next 12 months, then sellers will slowly get it. We're in a crazy paradigm where people still want good money for their house, and then buyers want deep discount. Guys, keep pressing. You're going to have to work both sides of the equation. The last 5 years, you have been taught to only focus on the buyer side. And I'm here to tell you, you're going to have to make a pivotal shift. Okay. So many people have been teaching you, don't worry about your cash buyers. They're a dime a dozen. I'm here to tell you, you're going to have to build relationships way ahead of time. So the last few years, the reality is you could go out and find a distressed property, a seller with motivation, and you could throw it on the market, Facebook groups, anything, and you would literally have it sold sometimes in hours, not even days. Now I'm telling you, we are working our butt off to sell stuff, and so should you. Keep in mind, cash buyers want to buy quality deals that still has money in it. The wholesalers that stick around that bought stuff for 5 and 10% discounts, they will no longer be in business. Period.
I agree. And this is why we go live. This is why we teach you the stuff, guys. We want to help you learn exactly how to do wholesaling the right way in every single type of market. And we're doing deals. We're figuring out what's going on. And honestly, like you could still do, we're making more money than ever in our wholesaling business. And a lot of people are, but like, you just got to know how to switch it up. Right. And that's really the thing, right? So it's like, playing, I use a lot of sports analogies lately, but right. Let's use a fishing analogy. Okay. Let's change it up. Right. So it seems like a humble brag, but it's true. So like when we went to Mexico to go marlin fishing, right? We had to switch the way we usually go fishing, right? Because the way we used to go fishing out here is like, you go to a couple wrecks, you catch some sailfish, put some pilchers out by the beach. You got to deal with sharks. You got to deal with this, this, and this. You get some dolphin off the weed lines, right? When we go to Mexico, it's a completely different place, right? Mm-hmm. like it goes super deep really fast, and you got to look for shallow water. And then where we're at, we got to look for deep water. It's kind of weird, right? But like all we got to do is adapt the way we fish, and we catch more fish than ever, right? And that's the same way you got to look at this market, right? You just went fishing in the Finger Lakes up for trout in Lake Erie, and now someone throws you out kind of by North Carolina. Like, oh no, there's no more fish. No, you guys are acting like there's no more fish. You just changed where you're fishing. There's fish everywhere. You just changed where you're at. So you got to change your strategy up. It's like football, right? It starts raining. Are you going to score less or more points? You just got to run the ball more, right? And you can still do it really well. I think a lot of people, they think right now there's less deals out there, and that's not the truth, right? There's actually more deals out there and less buyers. It's always an equilibrium, guys. There's always balance.
It's a market. That's why they call it a market. And remember, in wholesaling, it doesn't matter where you are in the equation. The key is, we go back to fishing. If you don't go out there to fish, you cannot catch a fish.
Yeah.
So in wholesaling, we're fishing like every day. So
but
that's what we have to do.
We're in a new place of fishing, right? Like we're in a new area. We got to figure out what to do. But here's the funniest part, right? Like this is the reason why we bash gurus sometimes, but like, all right, when we went to Mexico to go marlin fishing, right? Did we just go out there blindly and just start? No, we went to the top fishermen there and asked them what they do, and we saw it, right? And they showed us what to do, and you have friends there that showed you what to do, and then we did it, right? I think a lot of you guys are trying to do fishing in an area where your gurus never has been, and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And they're telling you to go catch a trout 50 miles offshore in the ocean. There's no trout out there, right? Like, it ain't going to work, okay? Putting a hot dog on a hook and trying to find a catfish out in Mexico ain't going to be the right thing to do, right?
You got to find the captain that's out there fishing and using the same techniques that you want to do, and say, listen, this generally works in my area. Try these 3. Probably one of them will work, and find the one. Instead of just say, listen, try this one. It works in my area. Let's go 1,000 miles across the ocean and we'll try this in there. It doesn't work. Shocker. Because guys, this is a very localized market.
And like a fisherman, how do you know if I'm going to listen to you about how to fish, you better show me some pictures of some nice fish, right? And
oh yeah, that's the
guys, what do you think we do, right? Like we show you the deals. We got the vlog, like we got it all, right? I just want you guys to understand it's kind of like, Who Moved the Cheese? That's a good one too, but like
simple book.
The deals are there. You just got to find a different place, right? And I think a lot of wholesale, I know you have the book. I don't know. It's somewhere in there, but like the deals are there. You just they just changed places, right? And I'm going to say one analogy for my youngins out here, and you're going to get confused on it.
Should I leave now?
It's kind of like the box when you're playing.
I get my walker and start heading out now?
No, like it's like the mystery box or that random box in Black Ops when you're playing zombies, right? You knew when you were playing like, let's say like old Nuketown, right? Let's do the Nuketown zombies, and someone understands what I'm saying. The mystery box, every time like you had 10 of them or whatever, they switched to another area, but the beam went up and you can see where the box is, and you got to get the ray gun, obviously, right? And the thing about that is like the box moved. Is the box still there? Yeah, it's still on the map. It just moved to a different place. So you got to go to where the place is, right? And I just think a lot of people think that like when real estate goes down, the deals, there's no more. No, okay. Like you got transported to a new market, and you got to know. You see the teddy bear, everyone knows what I'm talking about. They know my analogies. They know it. Okay. I'm telling you guys, see, Chiron knows what I'm talking about. All right. They've all played Black Ops. Okay. There's a teddy bear now. All you got to do is look up in the sky, which is us. And we're showing you where the thing's pointing in the air. And then you go towards it. Right. Guys, the deals are there. They just shifted where they are at.
I'm lost.
But like, it's like fishing. Okay. You went to Mexico. You just got to change up how you fish, and boom, you're going to use it. Okay. I'm not going to the bus in transit because that thing drove me nuts. So like, we're not going to talk about it right now. But like, guys, that's what's going on here in wholesaling. Things have shifted. There's still deals. You can still make millions of dollars, but you just got to change the way you're sort of doing it to a point, and it's going to make you a lot of money. And this is why we go live. This is why we show you, and this is how we do it, right? So let's kind of break down the 5-step. Oh, that was an old one. All right. So here's the last part here, and this is the part we really got to we really got to share, okay? And I think a lot of wholesalers really don't know this. See, a lot of people are wholesaling the wrong way. when it comes to reverse wholesaling. And this is how you get in trouble. So remember, guys, you are still selling a contract. You are not a realtor. Okay. And I know somebody that lost $3,000 because they acted like a realtor. They acted like a dummy, right? What is this? Some wholesalers, and I'm saying some,
Yeah.
they want to be a realtor and they treat wholesaling like a realtor, and wholesaling is not a realtor.
It's definitely not.
It's not. Some people, like, they just want to be a realtor and they want to act like they are. And it's like, this is a bad analogy, but I'm in an analogy mood. It's like when you're, it's like when you go to an HOA and it's a guy there that like never cut out to be a cop. And now he's not letting you in the gates because now he wants to be a detective and he wants to like be a policeman or whatever. And he's just the HOA guard.
Been there, done that.
We bought a deal once.
We couldn't even get into
we
it.
couldn't get into it because the guy didn't think we were the actual owners, because we just closed on the house and like, your name's not on the list. We cannot allow you on here.
I had the
like,
deed and the HUD.
We just
and
bought the house.
They wouldn't let us in there.
And like, I don't know, like, you know, they try to be their own little like gatekeeper, like, you know, border patrol type guy. Like, you cannot enter. I'm like, I have whatever. So what I want you guys to like know about this is some people can't become, you know, realtors. So they want to act like a realtor. Right. And I think it's kind of funny, but like, okay, you're the boss. This is the wrong way to wholesale. Actually, I have to write this down so nobody comes on here and thinks I'm saying this the wrong way. Okay. I literally have to write this down. I'm going to write down the wrong way to reverse wholesale. I'm going to write it down so it's on the screen so no one can screenshot this and try to put me out of context. Okay. So this is the wrong way to wholesale. Okay. So you're the cash buyer, right?
I'm excited.
So, okay. I watched Zach's video. I like this, right? Hey, are you a cash buyer?
Sure.
Okay. What's your criteria? Where are you looking to buy?
I don't know. I like the Port St. Lucie area.
Like Port St. What type of houses?
Yeah, I like 3 2s, you know, 2-car garage, occasional pool. It's nice.
Okay. Great.
CBS, please.
Okay, cool. So,
And I like landscaping on the northeast side, and I like a white picket fence and that white crown molding to die for.
great. So let's go find a deal. And I find the deal and I'm like, okay, you know what? Perfect. Okay, well, I'm going to lock it up with my partner. Hey, here's a contract to buy the house. I need a $10,000 commission on this, and we'll go close on this date. And then boom. Guys, it sounds idiotic, but a lot of people out here want to be a realtor, so they feel like it's good in their heart to do this. And this is brokering without a license. So I have fought tooth and nail on wholesaling, right? And keeping wholesaling unlicensed because I am not like, I don't want someone telling me what to do. And I don't believe in more government regulation in my life. But a lot of people, you know, I've argued with people that wholesaling is not brokering, right? Because it's not. But if you do it like that, it is brokering, and it's clearly against the law to broker without a license. Don't you agree? You are not acting as some people do reverse wholesaling. They act like they're a buyer's agent. Like they're literally pretending like they're just doing this to get a commission. No, guys, you are selling a contract. You are not acting like a buyer's agent, right? You are not finding the deal for them and they pay you for finding the deal. No, that's not how it works. You find where they like, and then you market in that area. You agree to buy the house. And then you sell that agreement to them. A lot of people who reverse wholesale the wrong way, when they go to a buyer, they act like they're selling the house. You are not selling the house. You're selling the piece of paper. Okay. If you want to buy the house or act like you're selling the house, that's the wrong way to do it. Right. And I think a lot of people, they get a little confused. They think reverse wholesaling, I don't have to wholesale. I get to be like a real estate agent. No, like that's clearly illegal. That is not the way to do it. And that's not the way you should do it.
So guys, make sure when you're doing reverse wholesaling, you're talking to cash buyers looking to invest in real estate, that you're not looking for in buyers looking to buy a piece of real estate with specific criteria. That you're acting as a buyer's agent, honestly, is literally torture. Like, I'm not knocking on real estate agents, but if you got into wholesaling to be a real estate agent, this is probably not the best place for you, because that's a whole different mentality. You want to do that. So make sure you ask general questions. Once you vet them, hey, you got a proof of funds, you go through all that. So if I say, listen, Rick, I'm looking for 3 2s with at least CBS, and I want to avoid pools. That's a general. When they start talking about like fences and molding, forget it. You can't, you're just looking for the structure. How many bedrooms, how many square feet, what zip code? Because remember, the houses pick us. We don't pick the houses. The other way real estate agents is they pick the house. Okay. You're doing it completely opposite. Make sure you have that distinction. Otherwise, you're going to be out there being a cash buyer's agent and you are going to be basically brokering real estate without a license. And that's not what we do. So I really want you to understand, anybody who's got a good deal on this can tell you the house found you. You put out your marketing and you made that deal work. Agents go out and find the house for their clients and they look for every little tiny detail. Dude, I'm the worst person to compare to a real estate agent. I own an agency. I'm just telling you, what realtors do is amazing, but I don't have the patience for it. And nor should you if you want to be a wholesaler. In my opinion, splitting it, just split your time. And you're usually going to go back to your fallback plan, which is just take commissions. Wholesalers make a lot more money, but we do put up with a bit more junk up front, but it's well worth it. You get past the first 2 years in wholesaling, you will write the shots for the rest of your life. I promise you.
That's the point. It's the true freedom. And
let the house find you. You don't go find it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just look for trends when you do reverse wholesaling. When people get like granular specific, they need a real estate agent. Okay. 3 2s in this zip code. Okay. I just found 2.
It's a criteria too. And here's the biggest secret about reverse wholesaling. I think a lot of people don't know. And this is as I am a cash buyer, right? I can tell you, we paid wholesalers fees, right? And I've had criteria for them too. But sometimes someone just send me a deal. It's an insane deal. Yeah. Like it's a 5-bedroom, but I know it can make 50, 60K on a flip. And I'm just going to buy it. It's outside my criteria. Quick secret. Like if it's a good deal, you can present it to a buyer. And if most buyers, if they can make enough ROI on it, they're going to take it, right? Like here's one thing. If I could make 20% like cash on a multi-family deal in a certain area code, I'm going to buy it, right? Like no matter what. And just, you got to understand that. So like, what's the approach that we have, right? So we don't reverse wholesale, but we also don't do traditional wholesaling, right? We do a hybrid approach.
Correct.
And this is an approach we do teach at freewholesaling.com. So don't act like this is the first time I've ever said it. Like I teach this at freewholesaling.com. And if you haven't heard this before, then you haven't watched in freewholesaling.com. It drives me crazy, but you should go to freewholesaling.com, my free real estate wholesaling course, our free real estate wholesaling course. And I got to do the numbers, how many people joined last week. It's like insane. Like we had another record week on it. Just people joining it. But so what is our hybrid approach, right? So regular wholesaling, right? Like let's kind of, look back at regular wholesaling, right? So like regular wholesaling, sorry, that's reverse, right? We do marketing, we lock up the deal, we find the buyer, and then we do walkthrough closing, right? And then reverse wholesaling, right? You find the buyer, marketing, lock up deal, walkthrough. What do we do, right? And our hybrid approach is interesting because like regular wholesaling, you find the seller first. Reverse wholesaling, you find the buyer first. I'm about to say, this is going to be revolutionary, right?
Uh-oh.
You find both of them first.
Yeah.
Boom, right? Like I can have a cold call the cash sales, and then I can hire another cold caller to cold call a probate list. If you do both of them, you're going to make the most, like you get the benefits of reverse wholesaling. I get the benefits of regular wholesaling real estate, and I make a ton of like, I don't need to do reverse wholesaling because I have so many buyers already and there's already more pumping in. I think we guys got to understand kind of like how wholesaling deals, there's new deals coming up every month. Mm-hmm. There's new cash buyers coming up every month too.
Yeah.
Not as much as sellers, but
and if you guys have these giant like cash buyers lists, because people taught you how to like do an email marketing campaign or honestly, you're almost better off starting off in this market because quality trumps quantity. And I'm just telling you, the buyers 6 months ago, all gone, or they've all changed their criteria massively. So in my opinion, you're better off starting. And also this method of doing the hybrid method serves another purpose for you. There's a lot of you that like to go out and market to cash buyers when you have no inventory yourself. You feel like a liar and a cheapskate. And I get it. But the reality is if you're already working deals, you can actually use the reverse wholesaling method to make deals you're currently negotiating work. Because someone goes, okay, I'll pay $1.75 for any 3-2 you can get in this zip code that's not completely trashed. And you're you're splitting hairs for the last 10 or 15 grand with your motivated seller, then that will give you full confidence to go ahead and lock it up under contract based on doing it. So you're basically marketing on both sides. Let's face it, guys, we've all been chasing around motivated sellers. So if you're just getting started right now, we want you to take the twofold approach to get it, because cash buyers are a little bit more challenging. In the old days, guys, I'll tell you, over the last 4 to 5 years, the average margin for a cash buyer, they're basically looking for a 10% cash on cash return. That number is going up. Okay. It's probably at 15. It probably approached close to 20%. Okay. That's what they expect to make on their deals, because they're putting their capital at risk. The market's going down. And for that reason, the old number was 10% or less. I saw it as even low as 5. Those numbers don't work anymore for obvious reasons. You can go buy a T-bill and get that kind of return. So why are they going to take that risk in real estate? So know that your buyers, here's the number one thing. What's in it for your cash buyer? If you know what they expect, it's much easier to deliver. The only way you can know is you got to talk to a bunch of them. You got to vet them. And once you have it, you can go out there and solidly find what the product's going to trade for today. And that makes you a successful wholesaler.
I 100% agree. So let's answer some questions, guys. I love talking to you guys here. I love helping as many people out as possible. But like, guys, we do the hybrid approach. That's not for everyone, obviously. But really, it's just like
it gives you the best shot in today's market.
We use the fishing analogy so many dang times, but it's so true. It's what we like.
Lure in the water, man.
And one last thing I can tell you guys, like, we're getting excited today because today's game day, right? Today we got the Dolphins playing today.
Yeah,
and we're
I don't like how much they're hyping up the Dolphins, because we could have easily been 1-2.
I'll tell you straight up. Hold on. Let's do this. So I want to get this a little fun. All right. So we're going to answer some questions today, but I do want to go pull this up. So on the Flip with Rick YouTube channel, we are currently have 131 people watching, right? And we are currently at 40 likes. If you can bring it to 120 likes, okay, we'll have Rick put on the Dolphins helmet. All right.
I don't think it fits my head.
You're putting it on. If we get 120 likes, okay, all right, we're going to put the Dolphins helmet on. All right.
Can I line up on the other studio and hit you?
Okay. That's 1,000 likes. Do 1,000 likes on that one. All right. And I think we'll hit it.
Maybe we just wrestle for it, huh? Right. A live wrestling event here.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, we'll
I'll call Michelangelo.
Hopefully that motivates you guys to hit that like button too. And we'll talk about it. So let's answer some questions. I love seeing all the questions we have here.
Oh, God.
And we'll do it. So, guys, yes, we are safe from the hurricane. Power went out for 5 or 6 hours, conveniently right before I went to bed. So, terrible. But
yeah, no, we lost a lot of power.
We lost power. I was like,
I don't even know how you got the live done yesterday.
Oh my God. Like, the power went out very close to when the live went out. And then the power went out up at like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So it was pretty fun. And I was like, wait. Oh, I can do a live stream today.
It was windy, right? But nothing like the West Coast, guys.
So yeah, it is still windy. Nothing bad. We're praying for everybody. And so this kind of answers a question, right? How do we approach a seller after a hurricane to sell their damaged house, right? And I do want to give a lot of people, because we do have a lot of people on the West Coast of Florida asking that question, right? And obviously, one thing I can tell you is we got people in Louisiana, Houston, right? Like that Texas, Mississippi, Alabama, the Panhandle, right? Areas where every couple of years, unfortunately, they get slammed with a huge hurricane. Yeah. And guys, since basically, the dawn of time, there's been hurricanes because the wind blows off Africa and then that kind of swirls and then the hot ocean and then it hits usually that area. But like, there's always going to be hurricanes. Okay. And what I want you to understand, if you're in that area, you can make a ton of money with hurricanes, but you got to understand how they work. Okay. So let's sort of talk about this, right? Like, so when a hurricane hits, let's talk about like Port St. Lucie, right? There is a certain like timeline, right? Like they're not going to instantly try to sell now, because some people, like if their roof gets damaged, they can get an insurance claim. Sometimes they can't, right? So how does that process really work with hurricanes?
It's changed. So
yeah,
I got initiated in this quickly, because in it was 2004. Maybe it was 05. It was 04, 05. Remember, I started in 03. I really got going in 04. The area I'm in, Port St. Lucie, got hit back-to-back hurricanes within 7 or 9 days. Unheard of. Okay? It was absolutely crazy. I had a bunch of deals under contract. I was able to keep them alive, but what you guys know, I went out and contracted over 40 properties. It was easy. Now, I was local. I knew everybody. The first person I went to was real estate agents because I knew they would have the most contact to the most amount of people. Number two, listen, guys, don't run over to the southwest coast of Florida. Like, people just need to be helped right now and they need to be safe. Okay. Same thing is going up towards the Carolinas and stuff. This isn't an ambulance chase when you just get in a car and go door to door. So you got to give people a month, if not 3 months, to get through this process, dry their homes out, talk to their insurance company, and then they're going to have a lot of questions. People make a decision if they want to stay or go or rebuild. Okay. Your job as a wholesaler is to work with them and help them. Okay. One of my biggest advantages why I bought so many houses in that 04 hurricane season is I didn't get involved in the insurance claim. I just said, how about this? You keep the insurance check, I'll buy the house. And we did a math problem together and it worked out really well. You got to understand, back then, the insurance adjuster used to show up the house, write a check right there, and that was it. Much more complicated now. Understanding if people have a mortgage, they're going to make the check out to the homeowner and the mortgage company. And unfortunately, Big Brother Mortgage Company is going to dictate how they do the repairs of the house. They're really going to screw it up. I don't agree with this method because the homeowner is liable for the home. They paid for the insurance policy, but the mortgage company, which is the bank, is going to control the show. So guys, I'm telling you right now, the easiest way is let them get their insurance proceeds, buy the house as is. The problem is, I think the banks are really going to struggle with that going forward. So we'll have to see how that plays out, because when they get insurance check, it's made out to the homeowner and the bank, which is ridiculous because honestly, the bank is just servicing the loan. I don't agree with it, but I just want you to understand what you're going to be dealing with it. So as it comes forward, we'll find out the process. I know they went through that in Houston when they had the floods years ago back, and that's the challenge. So in the old days, we could just say, listen, you take your insurance check, we'll take the house. It was a perfect fit. Here's the other problem you guys have. Do not even attempt to get in the fix and flip in these disaster areas. You will never find roofers. You're not going to find drywalls, and you're going to find a bunch of scam artists, the guys that do it for cash and quick, and you're going to get in trouble. So first of all, let people settle in, let them figure out what's going on, let them dry their homes out and make sure they have a safe place to live. And then when you start your marketing up method, if you're in those areas, I prefer if you're like locally, but you can do it virtually. Just come from a place of helping people and solving problems. And the only way you can figure this out is when you get a motivated seller, they say, listen, I want to sell the house, but my bank or my insurance company is telling me I have to do this. So you go in and help them problem solve. And once you see a trend, jump on it. Now, I jumped on 40 houses. I'm going to tell you, I could only take down about 25 of those because some of them had 6-figure paydays. We couldn't get anyone to fix it up. So I've already been warned there's going to be a major window glass shortage. Roofs are going to go through the roof, and drywall is almost going to be impossible to get. You've got 1 year of that coming up, and considering all the supply chain issues, it's going to get real interesting here in real estate. So guys, it's more important now to stay out of the fix and flip business than ever. It is so unpredictable with what's going on now. And prices, I didn't think they could still go up, but they're going to shoot through the roof based on the scenarios that's going on now. So don't get tempted by it. Stick in the wholesale mode. Get in, get out. That's how you make the most money. That's how I got started in my wholesaling career. Trust me, I owned a lot of properties when that happened. I hated every minute of it, but I learned a valuable lesson when it happened.
Guys, it's crazy. Like, why did Beaumont, Texas become such a hot wholesaling market, right? Because they had a huge fat hurricane that hit them, and you had all the buyers from Houston, and that hurricane, like, it wasn't until like a year or two after is when like the damage on the property started happening. You could start wholesaling there, right? Yeah. And that's because after all the insurance and mess was at, right? Like, so the best time to wholesale when a place to get hit by a hurricane is like a year or two after, because all the insurance and all that like mumbo jumbo is kind of already done, and you can get back to buying the property. Like, that is the point. So honestly, that's what I could tell you. I saw a little noise there. Maybe it's the wind, but yeah, guys. So let's answer some questions. Let's answer a quick question really quick. So let's go see here. Olivia says, I've noticed in my local market, there's a wholesaling selling class on bandit signs. Bandit signs are working. Like they're back, right?
Guys, listen, if you can get away putting up bandit signs, actually, they're one of the techniques that work well right now because you got to understand the act of somebody reaching out and calling on a bandit sign is like, it takes a lot of guts to call off a bandit sign. So when somebody calls a bandit sign, so typically it's like, we buy houses, any condition, any situation, and they call. So who's ever answering the phone, make sure they understand there's a reason for them calling. So either it's another wholesaler trying to figure out what you're doing, which we get all the time, or they're calling to see what their options are. They're never going to tell you what their situation is the first minute. So keep them on the line, try to get their information, screen against code violation, code enforcement, because they might come after you. And listen, make sure it's like legal in your town. I don't want you like blaming me and Zach because I told you to go out and put bandit signs. Some towns it's just forbidden and you just need to respect it.
But it's very rare. So yeah.
But guys, I'm telling you, when they call off bandit signs, it's cheap, it's effective, and when they call, they usually get understanding what's going on in the current market. Direct mail takes a little bit more time, pay-per-click, stuff like that. But I'm just telling you, bandit signs, like, they really work. They're not complicated. They're straightforward. And it's a way to fish for deals without like really overloading your budget. You can go get these signs for $1 or $2 a piece, take a big black marker from Home Depot, put your information on there, and go stick them out. You got nothing to lose. If you get one deal out of it, you'll thank me later. I'm going to tell you, the amount of money I've made on bandit signs, I can't even add up the number.
Hey, look at me, right? Like it's crazy.
It's close to like $1 million off. And I'm above bandit signs, dude. If you're a wholesaler, you're not above anything. You do what you got to do to get a deal. You stay legal, and you hustle. And that's what I did in the beginning. But I overlooked bandit signs after I got going. And then when Zach wanted to join me in the wholesaling, the first thing I did was one of the techniques, we threw them in the bandit signs. And then once someone did a concentrated effort, we got deals. If you have a concentrated effort on cold calling, you get deals. If you have it on SMS texting, you get deals. If you have it on direct mail, you get deals no matter what you do. Driving for dollars. If you put attention on it and accountability, deals get done. The problem is when you try to do 9 different methods and you're not accountable for any of them, it's terrible. So find your niche, dig into it, master it, and then add another one. Guys, I don't know what's going to happen with real estate here. And don't let anybody do the predictions. It's ridiculous. Anybody can tell you real estate's going to drop based on what's happened the last 10 years in the market. A monkey could tell you this stuff. So the question is, how far is it going to drop? Real estate right now is like a falling sharp knife. And
I wouldn't call that.
I know, but the cash buyers are nervous to grab the deal. So they want to buy at the bottom, right? Just like they do at the stock market. But what happens is once those prices start to level out and go up just a inch, these cash buyers are going to pull out of the woodworks. Once you're established harvesting good motivated seller deals, you are going to reap the fruits of your labor. And I'm telling you, you can't do it after the fact. So remember, you can never time wholesaling. Don't worry about that. The key right now is you definitely want to be in my opinion, this is probably the best opportunity to wholesale in modern times, because the last 10 years has been an anomaly. I just don't see it ever happening again like that. So real estate's either going to be down 12 to 18 months or it's going to be down 10 years. I have no idea. We're already sniffing close. We are in reach of 8% mortgage rates. And guys, I would tell you, I'm old enough to tell you, I used to have 9% mortgage. But keep in mind, I was buying $150,000 houses. I wasn't buying $700,000-$800,000 houses. So those numbers are going to be a little bit different. And guys, God, please don't forget about your tax delinquency list. The taxes are coming due in November on most states and counties. People are going to get tax bills they've never seen before, like double, if not triple. And it's going to cause a lot of stress on homeowners. And you need to be there to help them out. Because if they can't afford their mortgage and their tax bill separate, it's even going to be more stress on the situation. And people are going to make decisions to sell.
That's what real estate changes a lot, right? And I think if you start understanding that you should embrace the change, a lot of things start changing, right? So let's answer this. Justin has a good one. Begin these guru ads. They're getting crazy lately, and that is 100% true. Some of these ads I've been seeing, it's what I'm telling you what's going on right now, just so you know. The guru ads are going to be bad for probably the next couple of months because they are trying to harvest as much money from you guys as possible because they know that their sales are going to probably go down 70%. So they're trying to extract as much year-long memberships as possible for the next month or two.
Mm-hmm.
So this is why the guru ads have been kind of crazy lately. I get some inside information, but like they're about to lose most of their money from their guru courses. Like when wholesaling has to change, most people can't afford to drop 10K on the course, right? Especially a beginner. And I mean, honestly, without freewholesaling.com, most guru courses and most guru profits have been down 50%. The storm's coming for them. But yeah, they're going to go crazy for the next month or two. Just understand that. I think
it'll probably, it just like when the economy shrinks, it thins the herd out. Realtors drop off. Mortgage brokers are going to fall off. Wholesalers are going to fall off. The ones that don't understand how to do it correctly.
Yeah.
And gurus, unfortunately, are probably going to be the biggest casualty because when people are making money and money's everywhere in the economy and the government's handing it out, you guys hand it to gurus, think they're going to fix your problem. And honestly, at the end of the day, you're still going to have to go out there and do the work for wholesaling. So you're probably going to inundate with ads, and then I think they're going to go away. But whatever. But it'll thin out a lot of the what we call the would-be gurus, the people with very, very little experience. Because if they can't grab that quick cash, remember, all coaches, for the most part, they're in it to generate revenue. It's a company. That's why they have a sales team. That's why you have to do a discovery call. And for that reason, it's going to be interesting on how it happens. But we're trying to save you all from, listen, if you pay or you get it for free, you're going on the same journey. You might as well take our 25 years experience and take our journey. Ours is completely transparent. I wish every guru would just put their course out there publicly so people can see what they're getting and it wouldn't be such a mystery. But the problem is you guys get all excited. Then you get the course and you find out you actually have to do the work. I don't care who you get your information from. You are going to have to do the work. And if you can't be accountable to yourself and you think you're going to be accountable to a guru coach, you've got to shift your priorities. You've got to stop lying to yourself and go, okay, that's it. I'm doing marketing. I'm calling these 200 sellers and I'm just going to keep at it. And once you work that discipline in, you turn it into a habit. And once it's a habit, you are going to create wealth for the rest of your life. And more important, like, dude, I got in this for freedom, man. Like, honestly, I love money, but like I want freedom just as I want money. If you say, Rick, I'm going to give you $1 billion, but you have no freedom, I'm out. Okay. But I look for a balance between the two. If I can get up and my business will run without me, that's the business I want. And wholesaling is perfect for it without making it overly complicated.
I agree 100%. So guys, if you want to talk to us, we'll do some one-on-one calls. If you want to join it, you just got to go Wholesaling Houses for Real. It's my free real estate wholesaling course. My free real estate wholesaling mastermind. I put the link in there. I want to give a quick shout out to Corey today. Fun closing. So we got it right here. Corey, 32,000 stinking dollars. This is actually a $64,000 deal.
He split it. He's got a partner. So he's telling you to transparent what he got. That's awesome.
So shout out to him, guys. I want to give some motivation for everybody. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Really fun deal. Corey's awesome. Go check him out. And yeah, he's this from one of his virtual markets, right?
Yep.
And pretty fun to see. But yeah, he's crushing it right now. I love seeing stuff like that. Escrow. I thought wholesaling was illegal. How is he wholesaling? He must be a realtor, right?
Yeah.
Just kidding. No. Okay. Like, guys, you don't need to pay all this money. And like, guys, if you go in the group, you're going to see a ton of people posting checks, stuff you don't see on our regular content. It's been insane
lately, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's why I tell everybody, you guys, you need to start just going on. I'll give a shout out to Elizabeth. She posted another check. Same day as Corey, right? What was this? 47K?
That's sweet.
It's guys, I'm just telling you, like, go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. I'm telling you guys right now, like, there's content that you won't see on this YouTube channel in there. We also have our group chat in there, which is really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty crazy. I haven't been able to go in there for like
I crash
day,
in there sometimes.
We crash in there. We kind of talk in there. But it's really fun, guys. So I would recommend you guys go in there. Just more content, more of a community, because you get to ask your questions. You get to hear people's struggles. It's like, you can watch a YouTube channel, but like, you are part of the community with us, but like you can interact during the live, but like outside the live, how do you interact? And with Wholesaling Houses for Real, you can sort of do that, which I think is really, really cool. So yeah, I really like this stuff. So guys, let's do some one-on-ones, guys. How do you join the one-on-one? I think that's a question I always get from everyone. So let's kind of show exactly how to do it. So right now, I'm just going to go to the Facebook group, Wholesaling Houses for Real. And when I click on it, I'm going to go here. This is it. Zach shared a link 4 hours ago. I gave everyone a 4-hour notice. Okay. I clicked that link right there. And what happens is you can join here, StreamYard link, or you can just watch it on YouTube. I'm going to click StreamYard. I'm going to hop on. And then once you click StreamYard, you can talk to us absolutely for free, one-on-one. That's how you do it. So let's talk to some people. Let's really break this down. So first we got Ollie. What is up?
Hey, how you doing? I'm doing good.
I'm blessed, man. How can I help you out? How can I help you become a better wholesaler today?
Yeah, so I was just wondering what the difference between a title company and an escrow is, because I've been calling title companies and they've been telling me like, oh, you should be talking to like an escrow company.
What state are you in?
California.
Okay.
Want me to take it?
Take it.
So a title company's their primary income, just so you know, is to sell title insurance. So the only way you can sell title insurance is they have to collect all the documents, they underwrite it in-house, and then it goes out to a third-party company, which is a big title insurance, usually forget the names, Old Republic, First American, and then Chicago's one of them. And then basically they write a policy based on the information they have. Okay. The reality is they're trying to eliminate all risk. This is where a predominant part of their income comes from. The other part of the income of the title company comes from just fees, lien search fees, processing fees, and closing fees. Okay. And their job, supposedly for a title company, is to be a neutral company to basically transact for the buyer and the seller. The reality is they're not, because whoever picks the title company has a relationship with them. When you start using the word escrow, some title companies, believe it or not, very rare, do not have what they call an escrow account or an escrow officer. Escrow is just a fancy word of where they hold monies or deposits. Okay. You can actually use a third-party escrow company to hold a deposit, and their job is to follow the terms of the contract and nothing else. They don't underwrite title. They don't touch anything. Escrow agents have a responsibility. They have to be licensed and insured, and they get audited quite a bit. So you'll find that some real estate companies actually have an escrow. They can hold escrow your deposits in an escrow account.
But it should all be in the title company, right? Like
it should be, but you can actually have it in a real estate company. You can use attorneys as a third party that have nothing to do with the title company. So an escrow company, a real estate agent, broker can own one, and an attorney can own one, and a title company can. It's best to keep it all in-house with the title company because it's the cleanest transition. But escrow is just where monies are held. And understand, when money's held in escrow, they have an obligation and a duty to their state that they're licensed in. So in the rare event there's a dispute, and by the way, even if you leave a wholesaling deposit, if you leave it with an escrow agent, they have to follow their state laws and what they're licensed, bonded, insured in. So if there's a dispute, unless both parties sign off and go, listen, right, Zach, I screwed up, I'm giving your $5,000 check back, that money actually goes to the state after a certain amount of time, and then you guys have to battle it out in court. Escrows, they force them by law to be 100% neutral. They cannot like scoot around for it. So that's why we always say you want to give your money to an escrow agent. Escrow agent's usually tied with the title company. Think about it. It's much, much easier. So if you ever have to transfer your escrow from like a realtor to a title company, it could take 5 to 7 business days, and we don't want to waste that much time in wholesaling. So try to keep it all together. It's easier.
You're probably dealing with a bad title company because the escrow account should still be in the title if you're in California. They should kind of do it all together. And obviously, I don't know why they're pushing you away, because if you deal with a cash buyer, then they're going to need title insurance. So I don't think they understand what you're talking about, or they don't understand wholesaling, which means you're a bad title company.
Yeah, escrow has nothing to do other than the monies. It's supposed to be held by a party that's responsible and held to a higher standard. Yeah. And I mean, but some people don't. Most real estate agents, they don't want anything to do with it, because in the event there's an argument, they get dragged into a lawsuit. So you always want to give your money to some sort of licensed escrow company, agent, whatever you want to call them, And usually that should be tied on a title company, because how's a title company going to do business if they can't hold escrow? That means it has to be transferred from lawyers, real estate agency stuff, and it would just screw up closing so bad because it takes a long time to transfer money. Now, lawyers typically have escrow accounts for various projects, either probate or something have to do with the courts. So they typically have it too, but for the most part, it should all be done within the title company. Hands down.
All right. I have like one more question about title companies.
Okay.
Sure.
So when I asked them about like if they do wholesaling, they say yes, but some of them say like all parties like have to know like that I'm signing the contract.
Yeah. Well, you got to go to freewholesaling.com, and we kind of say like if they're giving you any hesitancy, go to the next. Like we're in California, we talking?
I've just been calling like to all the title companies in California.
Okay, well, pick a specific region, okay? Because how many title companies are in the state of California?
It's gonna be a lot.
There's probably tens of thousands.
Yeah,
maybe thousands. But like, dude, where are you wholesaling? What is your area?
Okay, I guess it's Susanville.
Susanville. All right, let's see where Susanville's at. All right, Susanville, California is just going to be Lazen County. All right, cool. So I was just starting that area, right? Is that the Lake Tahoe region? No, that's kind of more. All right. Yeah, dude, I would call title companies in that area or even in Sacramento. I won't really be going after like a San Francisco title company is probably not going to help you out with this.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, if they're giving you any like slack, you're dealing with the wrong title company. They should make it really easier. And if you go to freewholesaling.com, we show you how to find wholesaling friendly title companies where wholesalers actually use that title company, right? Yeah. Like that's pretty much the easiest way to find it, right? If you call a random title company, it's going to suck, right? You got to find the right one. It's like doing a wholesaling list, right? If I go after a list of every single homeowner, it's going to stink. I want to go after a homeowner that might have a possible motivation. So yeah.
And keep in mind that most title companies are geared towards traditional like real estate. So most of them aren't going to fit the mold of a wholesaler. The stuff you told me about, hey, they have to disclose to both sides. That's their policy.
Yeah, it's not the law.
That's so like, I don't need them to institute how I need to run my business. That's not a law. It's not a statute and it's not required. It's just their policy because they don't want to get any trouble. They don't want any risk. Honestly, they're not doing any risk with that because it's technically it's still open to interpretation. So they're going to cover their butt and they don't really believe in wholesalers and you don't want to do business.
Just get another title. Just get another title company. That's going to be the best way.
Okay. All right. I think that's it. Thank you.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Oh, all right. Next year we got KJ.
Oh, what's up? Can you hear me?
What's up, man? How's it going? How can I help you out?
So I just have a quick question. I was watching the part-time video of you said like pull 2 hours for list pulling, like designate 2 hours for list pulling. And my question was, how many leads should you be pulling a month, and how many markets?
So repeat it again. I only got the second half of that one.
So I was watching a video about wholesaling part-time, and you said spend 2 hours a week list pulling. And I was wondering how many leads should you pull a month and how many markets should you do?
5 billion leads a month should be what you, that's how much you should do. Okay. And honestly, that's a joke, but it's not a joke. As many as you possibly can, as many as you can cold call or text blast, do it.
Okay.
People ask me that question sometimes because they want permission of how much they can do. And you can do as much as you want, right?
Yeah, it's like asking Michael Jordan, like, how many free throw shots should I take till I get good at this?
This many.
He's going to tell you, well, you got 24 hours. So if you can give me 23 and a half, I think I can get you there. Yeah. So it's when you ask that question, we tell you like, just go to like you turn blue and you get your first 5 or 10 deals.
Okay.
And then your effort will be leveraged because you have enough leads. At the beginning, here's the challenge, guys. If you're just starting out wholesaling, you're going from 0 to 100. Your excitement level is like a 20 on a 0 through 10. And that's awesome. But like, you still got to carry this thing all the way to the end. And the reality is if you're taking a car from park to 60 miles an hour, unless you got one of these ridiculous electric vehicles, it's going to take time to get momentum. It actually is like pushing a boulder uphill the first few months. It's just, I don't know how else to explain it to you. That's it. It's going to take everything you got. So the more effort you put into it, a little bit easier it's going to be, especially. And then once you get that boulder to the top, where you start putting 4 or 5 deals under your belt, all of a sudden, all those leads you were working over those 3 or 4 months, they all start to come fruition because you have like a ridiculous sense of follow-up, and you just keep going. Remember, my first 7 months of wholesaling was extreme part-time because I had a full-time job. But here's the difference. I had 24 hours in the day. You have 24 hours in the day. You just got to find a way to be most effective. It's not about how hard you work. It's about how effective you are with your hours. And the problem is starting from zero and just trying to get to 10 miles an hour. It's brutal, man. You guys, if you old school people that have a stick shift car, you ever heard about it? When the battery used to die, somebody had to get out of the car and push it, and then somebody had to slam the clutch in and throw it in like gear. I know only the older people understand that, but it's the same way in wholesaling. It takes a lot of momentum. So you can't give it too much energy, I promise you. You can't overkill it. The more time you do it, the easier it's going to be in the long run. It is painful in the beginning. I get it, dude. You got a balanced life. So I'm sure you got kids running around, you got a family, and you got to pay the bills right now. So you're going to have to Superman it, man. That's what I'm telling you. It's the truth.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, you got it, man. You can do it.
Oh, yeah. Boom. All right. Next here, we got Peace.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man? How are you?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good.
Awesome,
Can you hear me
man.
okay?
Loud and clear.
All right, man. I just want to say thanks to you guys, man. You guys are awesome for free content. I just closed on my first deal yesterday for 30 grand. And I just started beginning of this month. I started watching you guys beginning of this month, took action, and here I am.
Wow. So share us some details. Tell us how you got it and what was the challenge with it?
Well, I have a junk removal business.
Okay.
And so when I go and do these estimates, most of these homeowners are looking to sell their properties or are they moving. So it only makes sense for me. I came across you guys' video and I was like, this makes sense. So the leads are coming to me naturally. So I'm right there on the spot. And most of these homeowners are looking to sell. So I make them an offer to buy the property instead of them having to clean it out and do all the work. I just take it off their hands and make a deal with them. So
awesome, man. What market was this in?
I'm in Oklahoma City.
Are you licensed?
I am not licensed.
Are you calling me from a jail cell?
No, I'm calling you from my house.
Oh, I thought you go to jail. I thought you just wholesale, you go straight to jail.
Yeah.
I thought they just you pick up your check and then the cops pick you up and they just drop you in jail. That's the way I've been told, right? Like, it's hilarious, dude. But
so keep in mind, he has a junk removal business. He sees people at their houses all the time. And now by using our content, he's figured the real gold is in the real estate.
yeah,
He can still operate his junk business. Guys, there's so many people you can connect with. You guys know, I'll let you in a little secret. I went around and met with every estate dealer in my area. And because you know why? I found the ads they'd run in a newspaper. Listen, older people still read newspapers. I'm sorry. And they get a lot of inquiries to do clean outs in houses. And a lot of times they sometimes spend a week in a house. And they hear all the conversations and they go, listen, the family's always bugging someone just to sell the house and just move on with their life. And so if you guys can network with people like this, imagine if this gentleman didn't have any wholesaling experience. He just did the junk. He could pair up with someone like me and Zach and still get a really nice return. Yeah. And if his passion is the junk business, that's great. But you're smart enough to recognize, 30K is a nice, you have to work your butt off in the junk removal business. So why not double dip it? You're already looking at people that got challenging pieces of real estate. And what better way to make an offer? Not only will I buy the house, I'll take all the junk in it as is. here's where we need to be at. If that works, great. If not, I'll do the junk removal. I mean, it's brilliant, man. Like estate sale companies are phenomenal for this. Contractors, although a little more challenging, they're looking at beat up houses. Guys, look at people that are looking at houses every day. We've already talked about realtors, but people like this, it's a necessity. People that do the junk removal business, the estate clean out business. What's the other one? Moving, even type of moving businesses.
Yeah.
It is unbelievable what you can find with these people.
Mailmen also.
Contractors. You got to be careful with mailmen.
You
So
be careful, but
I got a long story on that.
I know, but
A
hey.
mailman got busted like double dipping as a wholesaler, and they made an example of him, and it was local in Florida. And it's actually a guy I know well. And it's just like, you got to be careful with like government officials. But anybody that reaches out to homeowners dealing with like stressful situations. And let me ask you this. How did you come about buying the house? Like did they call you originally for some sort of junk removal quote?
Yes, that's what initially happened. And I did a quote. Either way, I mean, I was going to take it off their hands or do the job itself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they were very motivated to sell. So they gave me an offer first, and I countered. Let me see. ARV was 160.
Uh-huh.
I got it, locked it down for 47.
See, that's a go for no type of guy.
I like it. I like how did you how the negotiations go down?
I basically used everything that was in the yourfreewholesaling.com. I did everything that was mentioned in there, and I mean they're pretty motivated.
Yeah.
Like, did you get a price out of them first, or did you give them a low ball?
You know how it goes. I mean, first one to tell the price loses. So
yeah.
So they said the price
they were at 60. I got it down to 47.
Wow.
Woo!
So now he's added another layer to his business. He'll make an offer with the house and all the junk in it, or I can just do the junk and actually probably get a better price on the junk removal. I can't tell you guys. Listen, he's in junk removal business. That's great. A lot of you talk about getting into like the consignment business. Don't do it. Furniture is worthless. Am I right? Furniture is hard to move. It's like it's a dime a dozen in every house, and the real money is in the real estate if you can get it. So by him already being, how long you been in the junk business for?
2 years.
2 years. So now you got another layer. I'm hoping eventually he finds the opportunity where you can switch over to wholesaling, and then you could still do junk if you want to do that, or you could even refer it out. But
or
if you could do 30K,
you can get employees in there, and then you can do wholes. How much work do you have to do to make 30K in junk removal? Probably a lot of work, right?
I mean, in my business, I average around, I said 10, 15 a month.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the amount of physical labor to make 30K compared to the physical labor to do $30,000.
I mean, I work with, I just have 2 employees, just me and my wife and I.
Yeah.
It's a small operation.
What you do.
Yeah, I like it. It's kind of the best of both worlds, right?
Yeah. They kind of work together.
Yeah. And then I want you to be at the point where you're doing so many deals, you like roll your eyes when somebody wants junk removal.
Yeah.
Like, dang it, you don't want to sell it to me? But like, dude, it's a win-win, right? Like,
what'd your wife think of that?
Oh, she's excited. I mean, I could have honestly, I could have got more for this deal. Mm-hmm. I said I would have got 40, but I didn't want to. It's my first deal. I didn't want to be too greedy on.
Yeah.
But
so, what'd your wife think of the whole deal?
Oh, she's loving, man. She's excited. And
you think you were crazy at first?
Yeah, I mean, I was spending tremendous amount of hours just binge watching you guys and other channels, but you guys were the most honest guys on here. Yeah. And if those are you who's doubting this, I just started learning wholesale this month, September beginning. Took me 2 weeks nonstop watching your videos and implementing everything that I learned. And here I am at the 29th of this month, making 30 G's right here.
So now you're prepared when it comes up. And now, like the really cool thing is about like the estate business, the junk removal, the consignment whole business is you're already marketing to these people in a fashion anyway. So it's kind of already built in. So it's not really costing you any more money. And then my hope is you can do some more wholesaling, because like I refer a lot of that business out because that's not, unless you're in that business day to day, it's hard. It's like you don't understand how to move it, how to price it, and the trends going on to it. So you have a perfect in to offer your services. And then when you look at the house, you're like, but like, don't wait till they ask to offer to sell it to you. Just say, listen, you ever consider just selling the house as is with everything in it? And just see what they say. The worst they're going to do is say no to you, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
And that's a win-win because you get the junk business and the house.
Oh yeah.
So,
And the good thing about it, I got under contract the same day, found the buyer within an hour, and locked it up same day.
Boom.
That's awesome.
Like
man.
it.
Well, keep doing it. Congratulations. I think that's awesome. And I think you found a window. Like so many people think, oh, this is only going to happen once. I'm telling you, it didn't happen by luck. It happened by design because you studied it. You started talking about it. You started looking for it and bam, it like hit your lap. Now it doesn't hit everyone's lap that easily, but like when you take it, run with it, man. I love it because you're going to see a lot more deals like that, especially in the next year coming up. I think you're going to have more opportunity than you have now. So,
and on top of this, I got 3 more offers I'm making tomorrow. So on these projects that I'm working on.
So now you can do the whole wraparound deal. Like I'll buy it as is with everything in it, or you can price out the junk and you can make that price a little bit higher if they don't want to sell you the house.
Yes, sir.
Okay, man. Awesome.
Appreciate
I'm happy
it,
to hear it, man.
Love it.
All right.
Congrats.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much.
Have a good one. All right, let's get Shaquille on. See Dylan's on it. Dylan, cambia tu camiseta, por favor. Gracias. Shakila, what is up?
Hey Zach, hey Rick, how y'all doing?
I ain't kidding on that. Ain't a joke. Shakila, what is up?
What's up? So I have a question. I went to go view a property. Remember the property, Zach, I was talking to you about that was on market, and I was just gonna go view it. I wanted to know, like, what did you think about the property or something? I can't remember. I was at work.
Yeah,
but
I remember that house.
Huh?
I remember that house.
Right. So I wanted to know if you could. First, I got this one question before I even ask you that. Give me 1 second. I just wrote it down in the comments, but I don't remember it because a friend asked it. They wanted to know.
They should be coming on here and asking it themselves.
Yeah.
They need to hop on these things.
Yeah, they would definitely benefit. So the question was, what do you do if you have a seller that is not willing to budge on a sale price? He wants to sell as is, though the property needs much repairs, and the owner rejected 3 offers prior as is?
Yeah, that's a pretty easy answer.
Go ahead.
I know the answer to that.
Tough luck. Go list it with a realtor.
This is something that time. So we always talk about time and circumstance, right? So the circumstance is already there.
Yeah.
They just need time. When they know there's no other options,
Yeah,
they'll come back around. It's just like deals just need time sometimes. Well, especially this situation, they had 3 offers, turned it down. The house is motivated. The only thing that's going to fix it is time. So you just stick around. Nobody else is coming to save this person. And I'm telling you, the cash buyers are getting tougher. Prices are dropping. And for that reason alone, the property's not going there. I probably got about a dozen. We're in like what we call patrol mode. I know I'm the only person that can fix it. They have to go and experiment and let the market tame them. So I always leave my option open, even when I lose out to another wholesaler, because 9 times out of 10, I'm like, I know my prices work and I'm pretty aggressive. If they want to buy it at that number, then I'm just getting rid of one of my competitors because they're not going to be able to sell it and make any money. How many times can wholesalers buy properties, break even, or lose money? They won't. They'll stop doing that ridiculous behavior. They're going to get penalized terrible. They're going to wind up getting sued on contract, stuff like that. So just wait them out and just say, listen, I would love to do it. I'm being honest with you. But if that doesn't work out, if something changes, please keep my information. Do you mind if I check back with you in 30 days?
Okay.
And just keep going. You'll see a pattern. Like the price is only going down. It's not going up. So the longer he or she waits, the worse this situation is going to get. You have to wait for what they call the word capitulation. You know what that means?
No.
It means when the seller gives up. Like, I can't take it. Yeah. Have you ever given up on something?
Wait, just say to give up.
Because it's a fancy word they use in the stock market.
But you're trying to.
But the reality is, have you ever had something where you go, I'm done? You made a decision. I don't want to deal with it.
I'm done right now.
Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a car you own. Like, This is a true story. My wife had a car. The dang thing quit on me. I said, I am done right now. I went over to dealership and I bought a car 2 hours later. I was done. I said, this car gives
the emotional seller.
I said, this car gives me one more problem. I'm tired of being stuck on the highway.
And then he had 4 more problems, and then he decided after he said that
Yeah, I did.
he said that 4 problems before, and then 4 problems happened. Then he was done with it.
But like you go to the mechanic, he's like, that's $3,000. I'm like, for what? He goes, well, I got to move the engine, do that. I go, you're just changing the battery. He's like, well, it's a complicated car. I go, that's it.
See,
And I'm done. You have to wait for that moment to happen. The problem is your seller's not going to advertise that moment. So you just got to kind of stay nearby, a text, a phone call without being completely annoying. That property ain't going anywhere. Would you agree?
I agree. Yes.
So time, the truth to this, the only thing that's going to fix it is time. And you got to stay in contact without pissing them off.
Right. Okay. So my next question is, I wanted to know if you guys could help me out with comps. I comped the property. I just want to know if my offer price is going to be right, because when I comp
no, it needs to be lower. I know it has to be lower, right? Lowball.
Okay. I just want to know if my numbers are right, and if I lowball, I want to make sure that I'm lowballing in the right area.
Get a price out of them first.
Huh? So they want, so the properties the price that they want is $187,000, and I think the property can sell for $230,000 maybe. So I don't know if I don't know.
Cash buyer will buy it for $230.
Huh?
Is the ARV $230, or is it, will a cash buyer buy it for $230?
ARV maybe $230, and
Or the repairs.
The repairs might be, they're light, so I think they might be between 1,500 and 20. I mean 15,000 and 20,000 maybe.
Okay, you're at 210 and 210. And then
Oh yeah, and also the property has a lead. It's not like they're saying that the lead can be encapsulated, I guess, because it was built after a certain night.
Yeah. Lead-based paint.
Mm-hmm.
With a lot
I mean,
in Florida.
theoretically, your ARV should be 170 on that.
Okay, so my numbers was right then. Oh wait, my ARV should be 170.
No, your MAO. My bad. Your MAO should be 170. Just looking at the raw numbers there.
Okay.
If I have to
The
guess,
problem is if you're going to sell it to a cash buyer, so a lot of you guys make this mistake.
I'd be at 150.
You're looking at the ARV,
fine.
which you got to understand, to get to the final ARV and harvest that profit, you have to close on it, probably doll it up. You have to fund it. Then you have to list it with an agent, go through all that, pay all those expenses. You got to give the cash buyer an incentive to buy it from you. If he's just going to break even, he's not going to buy it. He or she's not going to buy it from you. So you guys got to start looking at it from the cash buyer's perspective, because if it doesn't make math, like he's going to go just like this. Hey, Shaquila, can you explain how am I going to make money on this deal? And if you can't, they're not going to buy it from you.
Yeah.
So if you start looking at it from the eyes of your cash buyer, I get it. The cheaper you get it, the easier it is. That's the easy way out of this.
Yeah.
So we want you to get the lowest price possible that's humanly allowable. But you got to understand, when you sell it to a cash buyer, if the ARV is like 230, you're going to have to minus off probably 12 to 14% right off the bat, because by the time they pay closing costs, they list it, they fund it. The only way I'm buying a deal from Sheila is like, if you're going to help me make money. We got to get back to the old days of, let me help you make money. I'm going to do the service of marketing and finding distressed sellers. But like, you got to come with your guns loaded in a cash deal that's going to make sense. The biggest struggle you have in the market is wholesalers are trying to figure out what price cash buyers want to like buy it for. And that's the moving target right now. It's going to settle down, but unfortunately it's getting a lot of downward pressure and we're all having to make adjustments. This is how markets work. It's same thing's happening in the stock market. The stocks I buy today, I could have paid 20% more for 2-3 weeks ago. Does it make sense? No, it's moving. So you're going to have to move with it. Look at it from your cash buyer side and go, okay, if he thinks it's worth 230, he's got to buy it, fund it, pay a realtor, and just start backing your math out of it for a worst case scenario.
Okay.
And then once you have all the math in your head, then you can sit down with the seller and go, okay, you know what your bottom line number is. I don't want you working for free, and I don't want you to write a contract where you know you're going to have to unwind it guaranteed. We
Yeah.
are going to have to get adjustments, price adjustments, but we can't go and ask for $50,000, $60,000 reductions. 5 or 10 you can get away with, but 50 or 60 is a hard sell.
I agree.
Okay.
So I'm just trying to educate you on how to look at like ARVs for the final person that sells it.
Mhm.
You have to reverse engineer some of the math and work your way backwards. Otherwise, there's no incentive for a cash buyer to buy it from you.
Okay. And
Okay.
I did. I think I have one last question. I'm not sure. I wanted to know what would I do if I don't have a proof of funds for the agent. I don't know if she's gonna ask me. She hasn't said anything. What?
Why are you freaking out over it then?
I don't know. I'm scared it's gonna come up.
Not, well, that so
Well, it's a confidence thing. So
Oh.
if you give it confidently, you'll be fine.
yeah,
I've
don't give
given plenty of properties on market all the time. Now, the one thing you should do if you have a proof of funds and you don't have a proof of funds is kind of what we said in this video. You're going to use your partner as one, right?
yeah,
That's the way around it.
your cash partner.
Mhm.
But like, don't send out the messages to their. Keep in mind, you're dealing with a real estate agent. You are going to have more obstacles. There's no way around it. Like
Right.
that's what they do. So try to find deals without real estate agents, and then you can pepper them in with real estate agents, and then just have some sort of preparation if they do ask for it. That way, you don't have to have any anxiety about that stupid question.
Okay.
It's not a stupid question from you. I'm just saying from the realtor. It's
I
like,
get
but it is what it is. You'd be surprised how many realtors don't pay attention to any of the stuff.
Oh,
I agree.
okay.
Okay.
All right. Thanks.
Okay. You got it,
No
Shagila.
worries. Appreciate it.
See ya.
Boom. All right. To answer some questions real quick. All right. Nate's got this, Black Ops 2 is the best Call of Duty.
I didn't
I
know what
I like-
BO2 was. I didn't know if you had BO or
Zombies, the first one is the best. but
COD.
yeah. Keen can't wait for the Dolphins tonight. I'm telling you, we're going hard. We're going hard in the
Can't
paint.
wait.
For the Dolphins to take the L. Oh, wait, to take
Hey,
the
what
L.
are you doing?
Oh,
Get
no,
that off
no,
the screen.
Get out of here. Keaton, you don't know what I'm
Although
talking
I
about.
will tell you, do you know the Bengals are favored by 3.5 points?
Oh, whatever. It's a short week. They'll do whatever they want. All right. Dolphins are going to win no matter
Is
what.
Burrow's the real deal?
Who is the real deal? All right. Mike says, do you use the dialer if you drive for dollars? Depends how many leads you have. If it's less than 100, no. If it's over, you should probably think about it, right? I don't think it'd be a bad thought at all
Yeah.
if you want to do it. I'm telling you, the hot dog on the hook, when I was a kid with a catfish, there's no way you can't catch a
Those
catfish.
are perfectly because you could just rip it off.
The
Used to
cheese
so-
dogs were the best.
Now, when I was a little kid, I used to. This is how broke I was. Okay, you stick a bowl, we put flour in there and some water, and we make dough balls
Oh, Lord.
because my mom wouldn't let me buy bait. Or we went out as little boys and we went in the earth and we pulled earthworms and we used them for bait. But it still freaks me out. Hooking a worm, dude, it's pretty. They
All right,
squirm.
okay, we're not going to talk about
Okay.
that. That makes me squirm. Rudy says, packaging my probate mail as I'm watching now. Woo!
That's the way to do it, dude. That's-
Rudy, I like it.
That's how
I
I
like
did it
it.
before YouTube.
I'm telling you guys, get the mail going. It works, guys. And it's pretty cheap compared to regular mail, right? Savante, can I use my title company if the property is about an hour away? You can. I'm not the biggest fan of doing that. I like it having local, but if it's an hour away, you can. I prefer to find one, but like if you can't, if that's the closest wholesaling friendly title company, that's going to help you guarantee the deal, then do it. If you have a closer one, obviously do that. But sometimes that's going to be your, like, if you're in a weirder market, sometimes that's going to be the closest one, right?
Yeah. So sometimes you do get resistance from the cash buyer because they don't want to drive like an hour away. So you could do like a mobile closing. So the sooner you set up your relationship with your title companies, the more you can get away with like DocuSigns, mailaways, or mobile notary is a great choice. So, make sure your title company should be making it convenient for you. So many gurus go out there and tell your title company works for you. They're your employee. They're not. Okay. They're running their own business.
Yeah.
Treat them with respect, have them complement your business. And if they're not, go find one that's going to follow the plan you do it. But don't be so difficult that nobody wants to work with you. We have wholesalers in our area, like title companies, they all talk to each other. Like, this guy's such a pain in your butt. You don't want him. And they go, listen, we don't want your business anymore. Because if you make them work too hard, you treat them like employees. And honestly, you're not really covering their payroll. So keep it in mind, guys.
Keep it up. All right. Yo, Dylan.
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Dylan's alive.
He's in the blue shirt today.
He's alive, man. How you're You're in St. Pete.
I was
still?
asking about them the other day. I haven't seen them in a while. So
Man, I actually just got back. I was in your neck of the woods. We went to Lantana last minute on
okay.
Tuesday morning. Yeah, I live in St. Pete. Got a notification that our house was in a mandatory evacuation zone. So I had my
Oh, good-
girlfriend and her
good
whole
idea.
family coming over. So we hightailed it to your neck of the woods.
Lantana's actually
Lantana.
we did it.
Man, I had never heard of Lantana. Good old Lantana.
No, we did. We got some property over there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could have stayed there, but
Yeah.
where'd you wind up staying at? Like a hotel or?
Yeah. I had a bunch of Holiday Inn Express points, so we just got a Holiday Inn Express there in Lantana.
They got some wild weather down there. They had like some
Are you in
tornadoes
St. Pete
and stuff.
right now?
Yeah. We just got back to St. Pete this afternoon.
He's got powers.
How's St. Pete looking?
Actually, St. Pete really didn't get hit that bad.
Well, you guys really dodged the bullet, man. Like they were like calling apocalypse for Tampa Bay area. I'm just like,
That was fun.
That's why I got out. And then as we were driving Tuesday morning into Tuesday afternoon, I'm getting the updates as we are evacuating going southeast. The storm is projectedly going further and further southeast.
yeah, no, we were looking at it. I'm just like, I go, they got this terrible history of like calling these things wrong because they were really predicting up by like Cedar Key and up like north. So
it's crazy.
Yeah,
Man.
I
What's
know.
up?
When Irma came in 2017, it was supposed to just obliterate us, and it dodged at the last minute, and it really wasn't too bad. But yeah, glad to see that you guys, were okay and everything.
I'm holding an extension cord out the window to try to get internet power the other day, but it's a joke on that. So,
What's up? How come I help you out?
how you doing, man?
Okay, I'm good. A couple of things. First and foremost, I want to go on here and just say thank you, like I always do when I get to talk
Appreciate
with you guys. Man, I know when I first spoke with you, when I very first started, you guys were a huge factor in what kept me going through a lot of those struggles that you talk about, right?
Oh yeah, the first 3 months, right?
Oh man,
First
for me it was
6
the first 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's something with
I
3
said.
months, 6 months. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
but it's
Even I got
nobody
one
knows the
deal-
journey until you go through it, right?
Yeah, and everyone who's gone through, like you almost can't know what it is until you're talking to someone who's been through that same road.
like
Talking
going
to
to
you, talking to
yeah.
both of you guys was so helpful. Seeing that, like, hey, you have been down this path. Just
Yeah.
like trust the process. It will work, but you just have to keep on, keep working it.
Exactly. So update us. What's going on?
Man, I am up to my ears in deals. I can't
See?
believe it.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. Up to my ears in deals for me,
Yeah.
And so my girlfriend's working in the company full time now, so she's doing all the back end like data management and stuff,
Wow.
all the marketing, and then I'm all the acquisitions on the sales side and like doing all the appointments and everything. We've got in October set contracts that are locked up with buyers in place, set to have over $100,000 in revenue for the month of October.
I like it.
Dude, I remember this
So-
guy the first time he called us. He's like, I remember we had to tell you, I'm like, dude, you're no, don't do that. You have to do this. Like, do not deviate. You're like, well, I got to kind of start all over again. I'm like, you'll be happier in the long run. You're just like,
Well, I was explaining it yesterday. There's a certain suck you have to get through in wholesaling, and it's different for everybody. But like sometimes you just have to suck so many times. You're like, I got to make a change. Or I got to do something different, and then that's when you change, right? Or you just get better by just repeatedly doing it every single time.
yeah.
So
I mean, our whole goal
like
here
it.
is to get people started in wholesaling and show them it's possible.
yeah,
And the hardest part is getting that confidence muscle in that first 90 to 180 days. Cause it's like, you have no idea what you're doing. You have no idea if it's going to work. People are like, they're raining down on you with like, man, I'm getting my butt kicked here. I could go back and do my regular job. And the people that can get through that, it's incredible. And I'm telling you, like now that you're 6 months in, you get to that 2-year mark, you're going to look back and you're almost going to be like, oh my God, like I didn't know I had this in me. And I keep telling people, like, if you can do that 24-month journey, if you think 6 months opened up doors, wait till you get to 24 months. You're going to be blown away. And you hit, my opinion, I think you hit the market in like kind of perfect stride. And remember, guys, you cannot time the market. Dylan didn't try to time the market. When you started, it was smoking hot, right?
Well, that was actually the hardest that it was there. Like I've
Yeah.
noticed so much more traction and momentum in the last 6 to 7 months. Now that
Yeah.
rates have started to change, it's
Yeah.
having an impact. It's shifting it from a seller's market to a buyer's market. The conversations I've been having with people are so different. especially in the Tampa Bay area. I mean, a year ago, I'm sure you guys dealt with it down there
I
in
know.
Port St. Lucie. You're
I
talking to
know.
people that want full price, need ton of repairs, and the just cash offers were ridiculous. And so it was really tough. I've seen things open up a lot more since we've had this kind of market shifting.
Cool.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like it, dude.
Yeah,
I
no.
love seeing stories
So-
like that, man. Like nobody remembers the guy that quit. I'll tell you that. And you didn't quit.
And
And
yeah,
I remembered.
we put it on your shoulders. I'm like, dude, Dylan, you're just gonna have to do the work. Like, I can't do it for you. There's no coach guru who's gonna do it for you. If everyone's got to solve it. So now you're up and running, and now you can figure out how to turn it into like a real like money machine. And that's a whole nother journey too. But like, just
Yeah.
keep doing what you're doing. Don't forget about the basics of like how to find deals. Then when you can find people to bring them in and help you.
That's step one for him though, because
Uh-huh.
once you had 100K, that's just I'm saying this humbly, but like that's just starting it
Yeah.
because you got a lot more to grow.
Yeah,
You're
you-
not
Oh,
you're not
man.
the end of it.
Yeah.
You're in the beginning.
Yeah, your girlfriend
Oh
want
my
to kill
God.
you yet? Or
I mean, she's been taking it all in stride, and so but we kind of have the opposite problem where now before we were just searching everything for a deal, and you're so
Yeah.
busy just desperately trying to get a deal, and
Yeah.
now we are kind of feel like we're trying to keep our heads above water, juggling all the different deals that we have, trying to focus on dispositions and keep the acquisition kind of train running.
Yeah.
And so trying to juggle everything at one time, it's like I feel
Yeah.
like literally every day is we
Fine.
wake up and it's just a sprint.
But that's a good problem. That's the problem that was our goal to get you to. Now it's your goal to kind of balance some of it. We can help you out with some of it, but like always keep in mind, like people get super busy in wholesaling. Just remember, you want to do a business that's designed for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
Don't just try to get the giant office and like do a monster gross. I did that, Dylan, and I was miserable. And I'm just here to tell you, like, you might have a different journey and you're welcome to do whatever you want, but just make sure you understand your why and why you want to do it, because you could, the potential for income's unlimited, but your time is somewhat limited, and you have to clearly define what you want to do, because sometimes you get talked into doing other things. You're like, it sounds great, make a lot of money. And it's like, my God, I'm working 6-7 days a week. I'm not getting a break. This is a bit much. And so just make that decision before whatever journey you walk down, because you can leverage this business, but like, I love to have the freedom to go fishing and do stuff like this. And you can have a small operation that makes a lot of money and have freedom.
Well, I think Dylan's on the next journey here, you know, like, I mean, you're working with your girlfriend, right? And
She's also a licensed agent, so she gets all the realtor referrals. So we've already closed a couple of deals from deals that come into the company or leads that come in.
Yeah.
They can't, you know, they're not a good wholesale, not creative, and then they get funneled to her as a realtor referral, and she closes them as the realtor.
Yeah. My wife almost killed me when I brought her into the wholesale business.
But
just for the record.
it's different for everyone. But like, I'll tell you this, and this is not telling you to do it now, but this is always something to look for in the future. You're in a changing market, so it's good you're working in it now. But like, eventually, you don't want to be doing this. Like, you and your girlfriend don't be working like this every single day. Usually, I mean, obviously, it's good now, but like, you know, like in the future, if you ever like, you know, have a family, stuff like that, like, you might not want to work as hard as you're doing before. Like, you don't want to wake up and race every single day, right?
No,
So-
we're both working 7 days a week, and to do this, to keep this level, we're both working 7 days a week.
Dude, I did that. I was making 100K a month, but I was almost killing myself, and
Yeah.
that's not a problem.
That's where we're at.
But here's the problem. Your biggest struggle's not even here, because like I said it yesterday, like how I went from 0 to a millionaire. Making 100K all by myself is fine. It's when you scale systems up is when you make less money and you work even harder. But after that, you kind of get to the point where we're at now, where it's like 5-10 hours a week and it's a lot easier. But like,
Just find your balance and make sure you're
Keep what you're
consistent
doing,
with your why. Because it's like, like there's so many people who talk you to do stuff in the business. Like I did the whole corporate thing. You did a little bit. Like just, I'm okay putting in 2 years and like getting it out, but like you got to have a light at the end of the tunnel so you can enjoy your success and money. And
but-
remember,
we're a little different though. I think, not saying anything bad about any other real estate wholesaling influencer, but like, I feel like outside of us, it's like embrace to work 70 hours a week, and that's what you should strive for. I've never been that type of person. Like, I like making millions of dollars, but like, I'd rather make, you know, a couple $1 million a year and profit for wholesaling and work 5-10 hours a week than make an extra $1 million and work 70 hours a week. So just be careful when you're looking to scale and you look at other people. Like, obviously there's no problem looking at other people, but like the people that embrace working 80 hours a week and they have kids and a family, it's like, it's cool. I don't think it's cool.
I heard someone
just my
describe
2
it kind
cents
of
on it.
like you have seasons in your life. And so like
Yeah.
right now, like, yeah, I mean, and you guys have both seen this, you have to work 80 hours a week when you're starting from zero to build to
Yeah.
where you're at. It's required. There's no way around it. But
Yeah.
that, I view it as a season in my life. Unfortunately, no kids right now. I'm not
Yeah.
married yet. And so, this is the season to do it. But
That's
I
work
share
for
that
everybody.
same, I share that same mindset that it's like, one day this thing will be at a point where you won't have to be working 80 hours a week and you can start to enjoy like the fruits of your labor. And
But dude, Dylan, you still gotta have fun even in the grind. Like you gotta like do some trips and just kind of. And the hardest part about scaling any business is finding good quality employees. So it's like I've been on this like journey forever because it's people come and go. Like Florida seems to be the most transient state of them all. But find good people to help you
That's
out.
it. He's in 2 right now. So I ever said there's four main stages I think everyone should do if you follow me, right? First, you're in learn and earn, growth, learn and earn, growth, scale, and abundance, right? You're in grind right now, but you're a lot better than me when I was grinding, right? Now you got the growth, and then when you get in abundance, the goal is doing what you like, making a ton of money, and having fun. But like, still, man, even in growth, I want to tell you one last thing, but like, still invest your money. I mean, I don't think you don't seem like the type of guy that's going to blow it all and go crazy, but like, like you worked hard for it. Make sure your money's making money, right? And obviously, I think you know how to do that. But like, as long as you do that, I mean, I know you're in your 20s, so I have to tell everyone that makes a ton of money. Just make sure you don't blow it all. But like, yeah, man, what the most attractive thing in 10 years is not a Lambo, because the Lambo in 10 years is going to lose its value. When you pull up in a 2012 Lambo, it doesn't look cool anymore, right? But a rental property I would have bought in 10 years ago, and the future is going to look awesome. So
yeah. I mean, when I quit my corporate job, I had a 2016 F-150 King Ranch, souped up, all the bells and whistles. I sold that the month that I quit, and I got a Volkswagen Jetta, a little 2012 Volkswagen Jetta.
Oh, yeah.
Sold it at the height of the used car market, and took all the funds from that and put it into my wholesale business.
Boom, man.
Awesome.
You already know it. You know this. Just do what you're doing now. But obviously, do you know the systems of hiring out for the future?
That's my next step. Is I need to get what I think a junior acquisitions person, someone to do all this follow up for these colder leads that are in the system in my CRM. But it's taken too much time for me to do all the lead follow up and then all like the closing with actual hot opportunities.
You're the last person to hire out, though, and you know that. You have a gift of talking to sellers, which I've told you, and you don't want to give that up. But it's always marketing first, disposition, which your girlfriend might not like that, but like it's true. And then maybe some general acquisitions follow people. That's fine, but like truly to get an acquisitions person, you have to be at the point where it's like I'm actually making less money by not having an acquisitions person, because I was at the point where it's like I love doing everything myself and I was the king closer, but I'm able to have 2 people that are 70% as good as me, but they win on 2 appointments at once. And then you just do the math over time. That's more money. Because I was making 70% of $2 million and not 100% of $1 million. And eventually you get to that point, but you know the steps. Do it slowly and you'll be fine. I think the one thing you should do is start recording your process. So once you have a VA or you train somebody, you have some material for your process.
Yeah, everything's
no one
recorded.
else can copy it.
Yeah, all my calls are recorded, and then I have like 30 different screen record videos. Me teaching a VA how to navigate batch leads, PropStream, my CRM, pulling lists, doing all this stuff. So, so that was the big thing I wanted to say is thank you guys so much, and I wanted to have just one question on here, and really, really quick. I'm getting into probates, like you guys have been saying. Probates are phenomenal. I wanted to ask maybe Rick or Zach if we wouldn't mind doing a 2-minute role play with me with when you're talking to a probate lead. If I could be the probate lead, I would really love if I could get just 2 minutes to see what you say to a probate lead. Would that be okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Just know that the way that we both close probates are completely different, but our end goal
Oh, really?
It's different.
Interesting.
So you're a lot more caring, and I'm kind of to the point. but we both.
I'm
have
looking more for
compassion.
like the objections that I'm going to throw out that I keep encountering. I'm really
Okay.
curious to see what is you guys' response to
So
these
let's just
common
cut to the
objections.
chase. We're limited time. So just throw me an objection and we'll attack it.
Yeah. So, Rick, I do want to sell the property. You know, my brother died. I want to sell it, but it's going through probate right now, so I can't sell it.
Man, dude, I'm really sorry to hear about your brother. I know that's that I can't even imagine. I can't even put myself in your shoes. So
Yeah. Thank you.
is there anything specifically like I can help you with? Because it's like I know you're dealing with a lot, but
Yeah,
do
no, we
you-
talked to a probate attorney. They're working it right now. I mean, I'm the PR, and I'm the only one who's involved in making the
Okay.
decision. And I want to sell, but you know, it's going through the probate right now. So I think it's supposed to finish up in maybe a month or two. So if you want to
Okay.
check back around then.
Well, I tell you what, you do have options for to do it. So you said you were the PR, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, and you understand what duties the PR? Did your attorney explain it to you, or like the courts, anything?
No, you just I think
Okay.
basically like once it's all said and done, I'll be able
Okay.
to sell the property.
Okay, so if you mind take a minute, I'll just kind of educate you on what you can do with this. So number one, being the part once you're designated the personal representative, which is PR is the acronym for, is you have the legal authority to enter into any binding agreement that you see fit for the estate. So I take it you're in charge of selling your brother's house, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
And have you made a decision on what you want to do with it?
I know that we're gonna sell it. You know, I don't know what we're gonna sell it for, but we're not gonna use it. We live in a different state, and so yeah, everyone wants to sell.
I got it. So in the perfect world, would you like to sell the property sooner or later? Don't worry about attorneys, judges, or anything else. Which do you prefer?
Yeah, I mean, we'd rather sell it sooner, but so our plan was pretty much as soon as the attorney tells us that the probate's been finalized, then
Okay.
we want to sell.
Okay. And Dylan, is there a mortgage on the property?
Yeah,
Okay. And are you making payments on it?
yeah, yeah. I'm the one doing that.
Okay.
I'm mowing the lawn and paying the electric bill.
Okay. I'm sure that's not like fun stuff, right?
No, no, of course not. I live in
Okay.
another state, so.
I tell you what, I have some ideas for you. You said you're local in the St. Pete area?
Yeah.
Okay. What if I could tell you, I could show you a way where you could sell the house before the probate process is completed? Is that something you're interested in?
Is it legal? Is it okay to check with my
100%
attorney?
legal. In fact, I've done it probably 162 times total. And I'd be
Okay.
happy to show you cases and even case law if you want. But what I'd like to do is show you how you can do it. And that's it. I would love
Okay.
to show
Well,
you
yeah.
in person. It's a little lengthy to explain over the phone. What's the best time that we can get together and we just have a cup of coffee and I'll be happy to show you and kind of show me around the house. And then you can make a decision for yourself.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, my schedule's pretty busy right now. I do a lot of work trips. I'd be happy to. I would like to know. I mean, would you be able to just let me know, like, how would I be able to
Okay,
sell
so
it?
so simply put, is probate is the act of opening up a process in the court system. So let me ask you this: I mean, I'm asking questions about your brother. I don't mean to be sensitive about,
No, it's
but did
okay.
he have any type of bank accounts?
Yeah, yeah.
Did he own any stocks or bonds?
I think he owed some stocks.
Okay, and did he have a car?
Yeah, yeah, one car.
Okay, and then is there any boats or RVs?
No, no.
Okay. So the purpose of the probate is to finalize all these transactions because somebody has to sign the paperwork over. So probates encompasses all of them. Of all the things that I've talked about, which is your brother's largest asset? Is it the house?
The house. Yeah, the house for sure.
Correct. And that's probably the biggest headache right now because you're paying all the bills on it.
Yeah, well, it's his biggest
Okay.
asset. The other ones don't
Okay.
cause me any really headaches. So.
So if you and me can come to an agreement and, we can do it virtually if you want, or just take a look at the property and write you an offer. And then we can come to an agreement on a number that's fair for you and fair for me, that works for everybody, is we can lock down the price on it. And then once we have an agreement, I can show you how we can simply have your attorney present to the judge and have the property sold. The benefit is the money goes into the estate account, but there's no more mortgage. There's no more utilities. There's no more lawn maintenance. You don't have to worry about it during hurricane season. And you don't have to worry about what the final proceeds are going to be. And
Yeah.
I can show you how to navigate through that, but it's up to you if you want to do that type of process. Is that something you're interested in?
Yeah, definitely. So, but were you saying that my attorney would have to present this agreement to the judge?
So here's how it works. When you and me enter into an agreement, you can simply file for a motion to liquidate the asset in the state of Florida. And it's your desire, it's your actions to do that. And if you want to, you can have your attorney do that. It's completely free to you. Or you can wait till the end of the probate process. But keep in mind, I don't need to kind of tell you this. You know what's kind of going on with the Federal Reserve and rates. The value of this property is dropping weekly, if not on a daily basis. And I want to try to get you the highest offer. The only way I can do that is present you an offer right now. I've done this over and over, as I said before, and I'm happy to show you documentation on it. If that's something you're interested in preserving, the appreciation in the house, get what you can, remove the headache. You've got bigger things to worry about. Death is brutal. It's tough. And I want to make this as easy as possible if you want to do that. Plus, you can decide when you want to close the property once we have final approval from the judge. That way you can take your time collecting personal belongings and whatever you need out of the house. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, it sounds really interesting. Would I be able to have my attorney look this over?
Absolutely.
Beforehand?
I encourage you to do that. So you have the authority to enter into that agreement. If you want to do it now or wait till the end of the probate, the process is up to you. I'm trying to preserve the estate so you can get as money as possible and eliminate the headache for you. And I provide a service to help you navigate through this. And I've been doing this for a while. And if that's something you want to do, I would love to meet up with you and further discuss that, or we can do it all over the phone, whichever you prefer.
Okay. All right. Sounds great, Rick. Well, yeah, I'd be happy to. So do you just want to send over your offer and then I can take it to my attorney?
Awesome. Okay. We'll talk soon. So like the main thing here, Dylan, is you understand is I've already told you can do that. It's easy. You can buy these properties before the probate is just a process. All you are is pulling the real estate out of the probate and just getting it liquidated. So if you got $100,000, it would go to the estate of John Doe, and then they still get the money on it, but the headache's solved. In a market that is not going off a cliff, that's going backwards, this is a much easier sell. Think about it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
the listing, all the crap they have to go through. Now it's really easy because before the price was going up, they're taking their time. Now as the price is going down, it's not. The main thing is you're not pushy. Did you notice the one key thing in our conversation? What did I not discuss with you?
The price.
Bingo. Dude, the biggest way to turn off a probate is start jumping on price right off the bat. It's in your gut, every fiber, everything I teach you. If you can lock around and protect your buyer, your seller, you can do phenomenal things because every other wholesaler goes for the throat instantly on probates. It takes 5 to 6 contacts for you to get a true negotiation in probate. If you don't attack price on, you don't turn them off, and you'll go deeper. Your rapport builds better. You get a better connection. It's much easier to take these deals down.
Yeah. Gotcha.
I've tried it both ways. I did not attack price. And that's the one point I want you to get on this, this role play.
This live, this YouTube, this video.
So you understand the process. You do not have, you guys, you do not have to wait till a probate's completed to take them down. You don't. I've proven it over and over again.
Understanding the details of that process and being able to educate the seller on that and show them the benefits of not waiting is something that I'm trying to get better at actively as I go after probates.
Remember, you don't have to know the entire probate process. Because I'm in Florida, I can give you a little bit more advanced on it. You 100% can do it. Like I do it all the time. So you're
just showing that with the seller and like convincing them that this is a good way to go.
Well, you just give them optional. You want to sell it now, or do you want to wait 6 months to a year and pay all the bills and have the price go down? It's like a no-brainer. Don't be freaked out when they talk about the attorney. Your goal is to get a contract signed before they go knee-deep in the attorney. Because the trick is, if you have to get the attorney's permission for everything, it just takes longer. But if you get that contract signed, now you are in a position of leverage. Without the contract signed, you are in complete control if the attorney wants you to do X, Y, and Z. And for that reason, I want you to understand, if you can get that signature, you're in 100% control.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you're not represented by the attorney, the client is, and you're going to have the client is, hey, listen, I want you to ask your attorney to file this motion to liquidate the property. You can easily go to your local title company and they'll tell you the exact form that he needs to file. I'm not an attorney. Like, I don't even know how to do it. I just know I get this done all the time. I don't freak out when I hear attorneys, and most attorneys. So when you submit a contract, I'll give like a 3 or 5 day expiration period on it. You know how long the average attorney takes to review a contract? It's a week.
Oh, it's a
Most
long
clients
time.
give up. They're like, I can't, this guy's costing me a fortune anyways. I need to move on. So you're going to have that play with the attorney, but like right now in this market, it is the easiest pitch ever. Prices are going down. Everything's costing more, and it's very undetermined. Let me solve this for you. Because most of them will tell you in probate, this is how I came up with this marketing niche. If I could just sell it now, I would. I'm like, okay, let me go talk to an attorney and figure out how you can do it. And the attorney goes, yeah, you can do it all day. Attorneys don't share this with their clients because they feel it's not in their personal financial best interest. Remember, if you wait till the end of the probate process, what happens? The property gets transferred technically from your brother's name to your name. And now you have free and clear property and you can bid it to the highest bidder. That's not always the best thing for the seller. Maybe the property's in rough condition, they're in another state, and it's very hard for them to make the mortgage payments. So the attorney thinks they're doing the right thing. They just don't always see it from your side of the view. I've waited till the end of probate, but you typically are going to pay more for the property because there's nothing to wait for. And also, while you're waiting for this process, easiest deal in the world to sell it to cash buyers because you can parade people in and out of there all day long, especially on the vacant ones.
Yeah, no, we're doing a probate in Sarasota now. I had to go check it today on my way back. So
yeah, so you already have my template letter too. You can mail to them. So just you can easily take this. This is recorded. So go back and play it 50 times if you have to. It's how I present every one of them. And would you rather sell now or later? You just told me in the perfect world you would sell now. What's stopping you? And 9 times out of 10, they're going to tell you it's an attorney. Go listen. You have the legal authority to enter into our agreement. And a lot of them get frustrated with their attorneys, and I take advantage of that. They go, I'm not waiting another day. I'll just sign the contract with you and sort it out later. I still respect the attorneys, but like I don't need their permission for anything. They know they can do it. They just don't want to share it with their client.
And as soon as the seller says, hey, I want to check with my attorney, I would imagine you're not giving any pushback. Like I never, I never bring up an attorney.
I think you'd be crazy if you didn't. I just encourage it. So
yeah. Okay. Thank you guys both so much. I really do appreciate everything.
Okay, but keep in touch.
To see you.
Appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dylan.
Boom. Love to see it. Great job from Dylan.
That's amazing.
Love to see it, guys. Always motivational, guys. If you want to learn how to wholesale real estate the right way, absolutely for free, just go to freewholesaling.com. Tomorrow, we got awesome live from you. Can't wait to break it down. And yeah, guys, I don't think we got the 120 on there. Let's check. No big deal. We'll still celebrate if the Dolphins win today because
I'll do it. We'll give them something. Well, we'll figure it out.
All right, 81, guys. Bring the likes up. We appreciate it, guys.
Bring the likes up, and I'll put it on for tomorrow's show. How's that?
Maybe tomorrow. We'll see it, guys. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. Go to freewholesaling.com, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. No dang hurricane can stop us, and no dang guru ain't going to stop us either, guys. We're going to help you guys as much as possible. Learn wholesaling real estate at freewholesaling.com. Thank you guys so much for the support. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you.